So when you have a close game, it can go either way, and you don't want to have to put yourself in that position. As much as, we pride ourselves on being able to get stops and stuff late game, if we can get a 5, 6, 7 point lead, with a minute left, we have a much better chance of winning those games, just being able to hold on to that lead.
I know it's a team game, and when you guys are at your best, it's a balanced attack, but how much do you need Cat and Ant to get going offensively and knock down shots?
We need them. They know that we need them. We're not going anywhere without them too. We wouldn't be here without them too. So, for them to be aggressive, them to be confident early, really will set the table for the rest of our guys. And we need the rest of our guys, the guys who are supporting them, to continue to play well, continue to play hard, and be ready for when their moments are calling in games too.
When it comes to Luka Doncic, how good is his vision and his passing and his ability with his size to kind of look over a defense and look one way, pass another? You don't know whether it's going to the corner, to the roll man, to the rim. It's elite, isn't it?
It is. I mean, he's another, Jokic. He's another form of him in a guard's body, and a big guard's body, I should say. And I think his height and vision, coupled together makes it, super, super tough to defend, because he's able to see over the top and, back up on when you trap him, he's able to retreat, dribble, and get more vision. When smaller guards usually have to get rid of it in only one or two areas, he can kind of still see the whole floor. So he's unbelievable. We give him a lot of credit and a lot of respect.
And Kyrie Irving, his quickness still is just at such an elite level, and then he's able to stop and have the body control and the shot touch to still knock down shots.
Yeah, he's still one of the best in our game. I call him one of the best players I've ever seen or competed against. His ability to have his body at so many different angles in the game and stop his momentum, and like you said, be on balance, such great body control, understands the court, understands the floor and where the defenders are going to be. He just gets to his spots, and he's been really efficient at that, and we have to find a way to kind of slow him down if we want to have a chance.
All right, final thing, being here on the road, you guys have performed really well on the road in the postseason. There's no fear or anything like that playing away from Target Center, is there?
No, I don't think so at all. I think it's been easier for us on the road. Less distractions, just focus on the task at hand. And man, I think our guys are gonna be ready to go. Guys are angry, upset, and ready to move forward to Game 3. And looking forward to the challenge.
Mike, as always, appreciate the conversation. All the best tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mike Conley, Cal, back to you.
All right, we're nearly set for Game 3's tip-off just around the corner. But first, we'll hear from head coach Chris Finch next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
TimberTech and TimberTech.com not only are the best in the business, but the decks they develop and the decks they build are the highest of quality. In fact, you will endure a lifetime of happiness with that deck with TimberTech. So ask for TimberTech when putting together your next project, and that also can include porches. TimberTech.com is where you find the free samples. Once again, start at TimberTech.com.
You're listening to the Tip-Off Show on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Find a way to play Timberwolves basketball for 48 minutes. Defend at a high level. Offense is going to turn around. It's been so good to us all playoffs, just in the lull. So, let our defense, if our offense is not going the way it is right now, let our defense be the juice for our offense.
Karl Anthony Towns asked Friday night what might need to change as the Wolves face an uphill climb down 0-2 in the series and coming off Friday's gut-wrenching defeat thanks to Luka Doncic's cold-blooded step-back triple. Cal Soderquist back here with you. Tip-off show continuing as we're nearly set for Wolves and Mavs Game 3 from Dallas. For more on this matchup, let's check back in with Alan, who's standing by with Wolves head coach Chris Finch for tonight's pregame preview made possible by U.S. Bank.
All right, Coach, I asked you a similar question before Game 2, but I think it still holds heading into Game 3. Very little has separated these two teams. Again, do you feel like a couple of things go your way, and maybe we're not talking about down 0-2?
Without a doubt. We got a couple turnovers inside the last minute. Those really, really hurt. We score one of those possessions, we probably win. Obviously, Luka makes an incredible 3 over Rudy. If we just push him inside the line, then, we live for another play. Just, our inability to kind of managed the last couple minutes of these two games has shown. Their ability to close games with two guys who can create their own offense, get to their spot, and make tough shots has really been the difference in the series.
Going back to that Luka shot, Rudy had done such a good job in the prior possession force, like you just mentioned, inside the arc. Was he just not able to get in the same position and kind of get on his hip and force him off the three-point line?
Yeah, I think, Luka, to be fair, and obviously it's just a guess, but I don't think he had any intention of going anywhere except for shooting that three. So everything he did was just to wait for that moment till we got Rudy enough off balance to shoot the three. He was kind of playing with house money, probably thought, I'm going to try to win the game here. And if it doesn't go in, we split. We did our job. We came to Minnesota and got one.
These last two series, it's Luka, it's the Nikola. I mean, for a coach, which gives you more sleepless nights or more headaches trying to come up with a game plan to defend? Because both these guys are kind of similar. They do it in different parts of the floor and in different ways, but boy, they kind of can do it all.
They can do it all, and they make every single one of their teammates better in different ways. Dallas has done an incredible job. Hats off to their front office of remaking this roster. They're giving them perfect complementary pieces to Kyrie and to Luka. Those guys are playing well off of each other too. So they have it all going on. It takes a team effort. It takes a lot of different things, different looks, the ability to make different matchups happen and work. We've done a good job. I think, we've been ahead in 77% of this series. I mean, so it's not like the things we're doing have been terribly wrong. We just got to be a little sharper.
A couple of offensive questions. Cat, is the biggest thing for him patience at the offensive end?
Yeah, absolutely. Just slow down, be calm, use your size advantage, use your strength advantage. I think he's rushing a little bit, falling out of his shot on the perimeter, not initiating good, strong, healthy contact, rather than kind of maybe going one to too many dribbles, but just kind of slow down. Use angles and use your size.
I saw you talking to Ant at shoot-around today. That's nothing new. That happens almost every shoot-around. But do you get a sense for where he's at heading into Game 3 here?
Yeah, I just told him, man, I don't care if you're 5 for 30 tonight. You just got to be aggressive. You got to get those shots up. We know the recipe. We've been here before with Anthony at times in the regular season. He's been such a great rhythm playing against a certain type of defense. Now he's getting slightly different looks, and they're mixing it up a bit on him. So it's made him a little more passive than I've ever seen him. And I think also, he's just overthinking it. He's just got to go. So where Cat has to slow down and be patient, I think Ant needs to pick up the pace and be a little bit more aggressive and be less patient.
And one thing on the defensive end, they got 12 dunks in Game 2. A lot of that off the roll, man, with those double drags that they run, especially in the fourth quarter. Is there an overall key to trying to limit that here tonight?
Well, we got to stop the ball from coming downhill. I think a lot of those dunks happen when the ball gets too deep, and then, Rudy has to make a choice, and then he gets exposed on the lob. And they have Luka and Kyrie who can really throw that pass. So we got to do a better job at the point of attack. I think we can do a little bit better job of covering up that guy with some physicality who's rolling to the hoop too.
Game 3 coming up. Coach, as always, appreciate the time. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Chris Finch, Cal, back to you.
Well, not that Ant doesn't always have the green light game in and game out, but it sounds like the head coach gave Ant, the triple green light for this Game 3 against the Mavs this evening. Tip-off is next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
TimberTech and TimberTech.com not only are the best in the business, but the decks they develop and the decks they build are the highest of quality. In fact, you will endure a lifetime of happiness with that deck with TimberTech. So ask for TimberTech when putting together your next project, and that also can include porches. TimberTech.com is where you find the free samples. Once again, start at TimberTech.com.
Max Muller here, a.k.a. Rudy Frobert. Catch me after Game 3 on House with the Homies, presented by ABC, right here on FM 100.3 KMXN, Minneapolis, St. Paul, The Fan.
What's up? It's Nas Reed, and this is your radio home for Timberwolves basketball.
Here's Conley on the perimeter off the Nas Reed screen. Mike to the right side, back up top. Nas straight away on the three. Got it again! His 7th 3 of the game! 94-92. Timberwolves by 2. Midway through the fourth quarter. Timeout, Dallas.
Tonight, the series has shifted to the Lone Star State for Game 3 between the Wolves and Mavs. Wolves Playoff Basketball is brought to you by U.S. Bank, the official bank of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. By Marvin, custom crafted windows and doors designed for your world. by Treasure Island Resort and Casino, the exclusive casino partner of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And by Mayo Clinic, your source for medical answers. With the call of tonight's game, here's Alan Horton and Jim Peterson.
4 points. That's all that separated the Wolves and Mavericks in the first two games of the Western Conference Finals, as both games went right down to the wire where Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving did their damage. Tonight, it's up to Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns to effectively save the season. A loss tonight would put the Wolves down 3-0 in the series, and no team in NBA history has overcome that deficit in a postseason series. Wolves, Mavs, Game 3 in Dallas tonight.
I think we're in a pretty good mood. Everybody's smiling, joking, because we know, man. We know we're a good team. Like, we know it's not over. Like, I'm not worried. I don't think my teammates or coaches, I don't think anybody worried. We just know we got to come ready to play tonight.
I don't really think anybody's frustrated. That's the best part about it, and we kind of know that it's us. We just have to, get into our ways and our brand of basketball. So that's the best part about it, just knowing that it's us, and we're beating ourselves.
Ironically, it's been easier for us on the road. Less distractions, just focus on the task at hand, and I think our guys are gonna be ready to go. Guys are angry, upset, and ready to move forward to Game 3, and looking forward to the challenge.
Well, the guys are still confident, Jim Peterson, and they should be. The 4 points has separated them in these first two games. It's all right there for them, and they've played better on the road than they have at home. They're 5-1 in the postseason away from target center.
Yeah, we talk about, obviously you get down 0-3, that no one's come back. It's 0-153, but there have been 5 teams that have come back and won the series when they've lost their 2 home games to start the series. One of them was a 5-game series back in 1969, but this Dallas Mavericks team has been a part of 2 of the 4 7-game series where the team has lost the 2 first games at home and come back to when they did it in 2004, where they won the series against Houston, and then they lost one in 2021 against the Clippers 4-3 when the Clippers came back and beat them as well. So it can be done, Alan, and I think these players, this is a team of destiny for me, and I think this is a team, as you said, that feels confident winning on the road.
And I think if they're going to come back from 0-2, losing those 2 games at home, it's got to be a win here in Game 3. It gives you your best chance.
Yes.
And I think the Wolves are poised. Here's Chris Finch's starting lineup for Game 3.
Hey, this is head coach Chris Finch, and here's our starting lineup for tonight. At guard,
Mike Conley, Ohio State.
Now McDaniels to the corner. Conley lets it fly and buries it. 6-point game.
At guard,
Anthony Edwards, University of Georgia.
And the Wolves on the move. Right side in. Donovan stop a pop 3. Dribbles in. Look out. He slams in for 2. Anthony Edwards.
At forward,
Jay McDaniels, University of Washington.
Out to Nas Reed. He'll hoist an angle 3. In and out. No. Jaden tip follow. At the buzzer. Count it, baby.
At forward,
Karl Anthony Towns, BBN for life.
Towns with it right corner. He'll just turn fire over Murray. And drain it. It's a 3 for Karl Anthony Towns. Michael Malone needs a timeout.
At center,
Rudy Gobert, Saint-Quentin, France.
Dukes on KCP. Up top to Towns. He'll take a rumble into the lane. Lobs it for Rudy, who throws it down with 2 hands. The onslaught continues. Well, this starting lineup for the Timberwolves, Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Karl Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert. They were a -3 in 12 minutes together in Game 2 after they were a +7 in 21 minutes in Game number 1. And one guy that needs to get it going is Anthony Edwards. In this series, he's averaging 33% shooting, 37% from deep, but only 21 points a game. That's a far cry from the first 8 games of the postseason when he was averaging 32 points, shooting 56%, 44% from deep.
Yeah, he's been the focus of a lot of teams' defense. Obviously, the Phoenix Suns, they put a lot of pressure on Anthony Edwards, put 2 on the ball. Denver Nuggets did the same thing, but we figured out ways to get Ant off still, but Karl Anthony Towns, he's got to be the guy that picks this team up as well. He cannot have a disappointing shooting night. He's got to be great in this building.
Cat in the first 2 games averaging just 16 points on 28% shooting. Jason Kidd not making any changes. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving in the backcourt together with Derrick Jones Jr., P.J. Washington, and Daniel Gafford in that starting five. Of course, Gafford will just share time with that center spot. What a duo that has become. Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively coming off the bench.
Well, the thing about it, it's disappointing. I mean, Minnesota has two all-NBA bigs on their roster, Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. They cannot be dominated by the rookie named Derek Lively and a guy that was traded, basically discarded by the Washington Wizards and brought here to Dallas in the form of Daniel Gafford. You cannot be dominated by those two guys.
Well, those two have combined a big part of the 20 dunks that the Mavericks have in the first two games. Curtis Blair, one of our three officials, will toss it up at center court. It'll be Daniel Gafford and Rudy Gobert to jump it up in game 3. The Mavericks control the tip, and they'll bring it up here from left to right. Up 2-0 in the series. Luka Doncic has it up top, averaging 32 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists. They double him out by midcourt. They move it to the corner. Here's Kyrie Irving against Rudy Gobert. A jab step. Now works to the baseline. Oh, I think he stepped out of bounds. Yeah, Tony Brothers saw that. It's a turnover on the Mavs, and the Wolves will get their first possession offensively.
Cat's got to be a better paint defender as well. When Rudy's been off the floor, Karl Anthony Towns has not been good. He's late in rotation, too, a lot. When he's the low man defensively, Allen, he's got to be better.
You know, his defensive field goal percentage, you can take or leave some of those numbers that the NBA puts out, but teams are shooting 63% against Karl over these first two games. They've hit 12 of 19 shots. Here's Rudy with it up top. Hand off to Ant with a left-handed dribble. He'll push it to the wing. Here's Towns in the corner against P.J. Washington. Drives in, went up for the dunk, didn't get it. The ball got knocked free. Looked like Gafford is down. Mavericks come back the other way, 4-on-5. So Cat's struggles continue as he misses his first shot of the game. Good aggressive drive there. Here's Luka splitting a double bounce pass inside. Gafford fumbled it, lost it out of bounds. It'll be Timberwolves basketball.
Make those two guys handle the basketball. Get them. And Luka, they're going to give it to Minnesota here inextricably. It looked like, and Tony Brothers is saying it went out Gafford last.
No, it didn't. Ant knocked it out of bounds. That's about the first break I feel like the Wolves have actually gotten on a call. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree with you. Big time.
I mean, I don't feel like that's putting Timberwolves colored glasses on either. Here's Ant with it up top. Switched on to P.J. Washington. Thought about a step back three. Now goes inside the arc, lobs it to the corner. That's deflected. It goes out of bounds. There's only 4.4 to shoot.
Referee's calling for a travel that time. It looked a little travel-ish the way it looked, but it was just a step through. Ant is legal to do that. Tried to make the pass to Mike in the corner. It got deflected out of bounds.
He has taken his footwork to another level this season.
He really has.
Off the inbound, Mike will trigger in right in front of the Dallas bench. It comes out to Rudy with 3. Now with 2, he dumps it inside. Mike, layup, yes. How about that? Rudy to Mike for the lay-in, and the Wolves are up 2-0.
Mike they expected him to come off for the handoff, but he back cut that time. Nice pass by Rudy.
There's Luka splitting a double with a bounce pass to Gafford at the elbow to the corner. P.J. Washington lines up the 3 and buries it.
Make him shoot a few of those. You know, he makes the first one, but it was good coverage by Towns.
You know, he had been just 2 of 12 shooting from beyond the arc in the first 2 games. But overall in the postseason, he's been hot from the corners, 44%. Here's Mike trying a corner 3. That one's up and in. He's got 5 straight. Wolves are on top by 2.
Great game, 2 by Mike Conley, 2 by the way.
Bounce back in a big way. 18 points, 5 boards, 5 dimes. 7 of 14 shooting. The Wolves need that. Gafford with it up top. Looking left, here's Luka Doncic working to the right side. Now to P.J. Washington, extra pass. Derek Jones Jr. to the left. He's going to fire a 3, and he'll bury it. So P.J. hits 1, and then Derek follows suit right in the same spot. 6-5, Dallas by 1. Here's Ant up into the front court, far sideline. Beats Kyrie off the dribble, runs into Washington. Cross-court pass picked off by Luka Doncic. And then Doncic fouled coming up the floor. Jaden picks it up. That's his first. So Ant only has 6 turnovers now in the entire series. That's not a huge number. But his 5 turnovers in the last 2 games led to 13 points.
Right.
I mean, Dallas is just feasted off of those particular mistakes. And 3 of those 5 turnovers have been in the fourth quarter.
Right. Minnesota had 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter last ballgame in game 2. They hit 3 threes in those 4 turnovers.
It's
unbelievable.
Amazing. And the Wolves have done a really good job taking care of the basketball for the most part. Only 10 turnovers a game. Luka, deep 3 left side over Conley, and he strokes it. He's almost by the hash mark. 9-5. Dallas 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. In fact, they're 3 for 3 from the field. 2 turnovers are the only thing slowing down their offense right now. The Wolves are 2 of 3 shooting. They've knocked down a triple. High screen from Towns. Ant now switches on to P.J. Washington. Off the Gobert screen, he'll rise up for a straightaway 3. That's way offline. Rebound ricochets all the way to the 3-point line. Here come the Mavericks. Luke up the center of the floor. He's going to stop. It's a logo 3 off the front rim. No. That's an early heat check from Luka Doncic. He had a foot on the logo at midcourt. That's a cool 32-foot, 33-foot. Mike will try a right side three. That's in and out, no. And Luka Doncic clears the rebound. He's on the move up the center of the floor. Lobs it right side. Derrick Jones Jr. Quick crossover on Mike. Lost the ball. Got it back baseline. Kicks it to the corner. P.J. Washington misfires on the three. Derrick Jones Jr. offensive rebound out to Kyrie. The three ball no. Timberwolves control the rebound.
Minnesota's got to make Dallas work a little bit. That last shot by Mike was a quick three. You got to make them work a little bit on the defensive end.
Here's Ant. No passing on this shot. Inside. Off the glass. No, but he drew the foul. He'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Yeah, that's a shot Mike can get later in a shot clock.
Certainly can.
You're right. I like that idea of making them work.
Well, game one, they shot, 49 threes in game one. And I think a lot of those possessions, Ant was looking to get off because they were taking away his driving lanes. And so he'd use Rudy off the screen in the top of the circle, and he would get open shots, but he was settling too much and wasn't attacking. Misses the first free throw here, but I think generally speaking, when you shoot 49 threes, Minnesota averages 33 a game during the regular season. That's so much out of their shot profile, and Dallas really didn't have to work in game one that much.
1 out of 2 for Ant at the free throw line. Timberwolves trail by 3. We played 3.5 minutes here in Dallas. Dallas up 2 games to none. Luka up into the front court, averaging a triple-double for the series. He gets away from 2 defenders, down the lane, nearly threw it away, but Kyrie's quickness able to track it down in the corner, working against Conley. Mid-post, left side, turnaround, fall away, 14-footer, short, late whistle, but a foul on Mike Conley.
Mike has fouled Kyrie a bunch in this series, contesting jump shots, and I know that Kyrie wants to get a great contest on that time. That right shoulder turn, Mike has to lean into Kyrie. And it's just such marginal contact, too, when they make that call. Mike is very frustrated.
Kyrie will go to the free throw line, where he's 8 of 11 here in this series. 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And now in his 13th year. He's 32 years of age. And talking to Mike Conley after shoot-around today, he just kind of shook his head when I asked about Kyrie's quickness, body control. He's just like, he's still as quick as he ever was. This guy is elite. And he's playing like it here in the postseason.
But you and I, talk about, his popularity amongst NBA players. I mean, they wear his shoe, and, Kyrie is one of those guys that just is, people have so much respect for his handle and his skill that, he's admired. And, 32 years of age, there's a lot of players in this league that grew up watching Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, 2 free throws are good. Dallas now leads by 5 here, 11-6. Timberwolves in the association white jerseys. They've gone away from the classic edition throwbacks. Towns with it, left side. Spins, runs into P.J. Washington. Got knocked free. Cat will track it down on the perimeter. Now Ant with it, 5 on the shot clock. Jukes right, comes left to the baseline, pulls up. Runner with the right hand drops in as Gobert got tripped up and nearly took out Ant at the ankles. Rudy is down, so it's 5 on 4 back the other way. P.J. Washington, wide open 3. He missed it. And Timberwolves could not corral the rebound. Kyrie's got it, perimeter left. He spins, runs right to Mike Conley, who stole the basketball. So Mike, 36 years of age, gets the better of the 32-year-old, and then Cat, a runner from the left block, no good. Here comes Dallas on the move. Kyrie able to attack on Conley, right to the cup, missed the layup. Offensive rebound, Lively. He'll bounce it out to Kyrie. Dallas can reset. P.J. Washington looking at drive on Rudy. Does. Layup is good. Not a great offensive possession at the other end. Quick shot by Carl, he misses it. It's almost like a turnover, and it's a fast break the other way. The Wolves were able to never recover, even though they got a couple of misses. Here's Conley to the right side. They get it to Ant on the move. Right side, he pulls up over Luka and sticks the jumper from 15. So Ant's hit his last 2 shots. Timberwolves down 3 with 6:50 left to go first quarter. Doncic up, gets the high screen from P.J. Washington. Wolves run 2 at him. Now to Washington, who fakes the pass, keeps it himself, drives in, out to Derrick Jones Jr. He'll attack in the lane, off to Lively. Inside, goes up for the dunk, flushes. They got knocked down by Rudy Gobert, and there was no foul call. 15-10 as Lively caps off another dunk, his 9th of the series.
They are just attacking closeouts, too. Towns not able to contain in the corner that time.
Here's Ant, baseline and drive. A kick out to the left angle. Towns will zip it to McDaniels in the corner. Buries the 3. Boy, Jaden really struggling in game number 2. He had gone through that really good 3-game stretch. He finally knocks down a corner 3. He was 10 for 15 in that hot 3-game stretch. Here he kicks the ball away from Doncic out of bounds. But in the other 10 games in the postseason, he's just 4 for 17 on his corner threes. Good sign for him to knock down that early one. Wolves within 2, 15-13, midway through the opening quarter. Timeout on the floor. We step aside on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
Anything can happen when you say I'm in to a scratch game from the Minnesota Lottery. Besides cash prizes, some scratch games offer a second chance, so even non-winning tickets can win. Since this is probably music to your ears, we'll say it again, in a song. Besides cash prizes, some scratch games offer a second chance, so even non-winning tickets can win. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
TimberTech and TimberTech.com not only are the best in the business, but the decks they develop and the decks they build are the highest of quality. In fact, you will endure a lifetime of happiness with that deck with TimberTech. So ask for TimberTech when putting together your next project, and that also can include porches. TimberTech.com is where you find the free samples. Once again, start at TimberTech.com.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Six gone, 6 left to play here in the opening quarter of Game 3. It's the Mavericks in front of the Timberwolves, 15-13. Coming off a Game 2 game winner from Luka Doncic. Jason Kidd, after the game, talked about breaking down Luka's final shot over Rudy.
The play was to get Luka the ball and let Luka do what Luka does in those moments. And that's, if he has trust with his teammates, if they were going to come and hit him, he knew who he was going to find to knock down a shot. We talked about taking a 2. We're only down 2, but when he got to dancing with Gobert, you could see that the step back was coming and the rest was history.
What was different about that step back, Jim, is he hit 4 of 5 on his step back threes in Game 2. He likes to go to his left on those step back. This one went to the right. And the other thing was that if you go back to the possession Luka had before, the Wolves really defended it well. Rudy got up on him and was on his hip and forced him inside the arc into a difficult 2. He couldn't do that in the final possession, though.
Switched on him. He got on his left shoulder, was not going to allow that left step back, and did a great job. Got to stop. They did a great job because Naz Reid switched on to Luka, got the stop, and Rudy ran back into Derek Lively and took his ability to offensive rebound the basketball away. Minnesota got to stop it on that final play. Rudy just got on roller skates.
Out of the timeout, Luka's got it. He dumps it inside to Lively, who got inside of Anthony Edwards, and another dunk for Derek Lively the second. His second dunk in the quarter. He's got 10 for the series now. I mean, that's becoming a real theme with Gafford and Lively.
It makes you wonder, why can't Minnesota do the same thing with Rudy Gobert?
Here's Ant left of the lane, drives in, got his shot swatted by Lively. He averages over a block per game in the postseason. Now Luka with it on the right side. Starts to back down Mike Conley. Spins into Rudy, lobs it up, and Lively throws it down. Another dunk. And the third alley-oop to Derek Lively.
Towns just has no vision.
19-13 is the count. Here's Towns with it. Up top, Anthony Edwards. Ant will work against Josh Green, who's into the game. To the elbow, Ant just hunting here. May have gotten away with the travel. You want Ant to be aggressive, but the last 4 possessions, I mean, he's just not passed it and been hunting left and right. You got to find that balance, don't you think, between getting your points, but also keeping everyone else involved.
And that's where I say when Ant gets in that mode, you almost have to play call him out of that mode. You have to get the ball back in Mike's hands. You let him, play with the basketball a little bit and get them back into some kind of rhythm offensively.
Last 3 Dallas possessions, 3 lively dunks. Derrick Jones Jr. and P.J. Washington, games 1 and 2, they went 2 of 17 from beyond the arc. Here in game 3, they're 2 of 4. Cat will take a seat. Naz Reid is in. Nickeil Alexander-Walker checks in for the point guard, Mike Conley. Here comes Dallas here from left to right. 19-15, they lead by 4. Edwards did get both free throws. He's got 7 points. 3 of those have come at the free throw line. Luka left side, dribbles up top, gets airborne and kicks to the corner. Josh Green now to the angle, and Jaden Hardy back to Luka. Gives a right back to Hardy against Gobert. He wants him to take him. Hardy drives in, missed the layup. Good defense by Rudy, who is holding opponents to 43% shooting here in this series. Jaden into the paint. Little fall away 8-footer. That rattles around and drops in. Jaden's got 5. Timberwolves back to within 2. 19-17, 4.5 to go in the quarter. Here's Luka, right in the lane. He'll stop. He'll pull up on the jumper and drain it. So 21-17, and Luka now up to 5 points, a couple of assists. Here's Jaden in the corner, baseline drive. He'll stop and pop on the jumper. Both teams scoring at will right now, and that's good for Jaden McDaniels because he's up to 7. 21-17. Here's Luka splitting a double, and he takes a foul from Rudy Gobert, reached in. So that'll be the first on Gobert.
Rudy Gobert. They've been aggressive on Luka Doncic. When 2 have come together, they've trapped him, but he's so big. Even he can throw over the top of Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels. That's the length of Luka Doncic. I mean, that's about as much length as you're going to see in 2 defenders, one that's defending Luka and one that is not, to come and double team him, and he's been so good at throwing it out. You mentioned the 3 lively dunks in a row.
There's Luka to the free throw line, taking a feed from Lively. Now the one-footed fall away from 16. That's no good. Rebound tapped out by Ant, and Nickeil collects. Alexander Walker up into the front court. Dribble handoff to Ant. Rudy now dives away from the screen, rolling down Main Street. Here's Ant with it in the paint. Rises up, 10-footer off the back iron. No, and Jaden Hardy collects the rebound.
And that's the one where Ant could throw it up to Rudy for the dunk. He's in the dunker spot. Just throw it up to him.
Drive by Hardy, and he gets whacked by Nickeil Alexander-Walker coming down the lane.
Minnesota's just not drilled to do that effectively with Rudy Gobert. The same stuff. What they do with Gafford and Lively is so simple. Those 2 just camp and park in the dunker spot, and when they drive, whether it's Luka, Kyrie, or whoever, when the big steps up, they just lob it up to him. It's simple basketball. And right there, Ant drove into the crowd, drew 3 defenders to him. Rudy was standing right in the dunker spot. Just throw it up to him.
It's something the Wolves have not been able to solve now in 2+ games. And it looks like this is going to be game number 3, where Dallas just gets really high percentage looks. The thing is, you don't miss those. Those guys aren't missing those shots. They're hitting 100% of those shots.
Well, unfortunately, the rotation, some of solving that problem is getting Rudy into coverage out on the perimeter. They've been driving him when he's rotated onto a shooter.
Here's Nickeil working to the right side off a staggered screen, threw it away up top. Josh Green with the steal, couldn't track it down over by the Timberwolves bench, so it will be Timberwolves basketball. Dallas leads by 4. Their largest lead has been 6. Minnesota, their only lead was 2 points when it was 2-0.
Dallas fans are sensing a little blood in the water right now.
Mike Conley going back up the tunnel, back towards the Timberwolves locker room. Naz down the lane. Runs it up with the right hand. No, but he took some contact. He'll get helped up by Rudy and Ant and head to the free throw line for 2 shots. Well, we saw Mike Conley's importance at the end of game 2, or lack thereof. You know, sometimes when you go substituting defense for offense, it becomes difficult to try to make sure you got the right personnel in for every possession. They didn't have Ant on the floor. Chris Finch admitted afterwards he should have called a timeout, got Mike in there. That was the possession where the Wolves had the ball.
Turned it over.
Up by 2, and Ant turned it over.
He had 2 timeouts, too. He had 2 timeouts when that happened. So Naz hits the first of 2 free throws here.
One more coming for Naz Reid, who's coming off the playoff career-high 23 points. He was 8 of 13 shooting. His 7 threes tied the Timberwolves postseason record.
Well, if no Mike Conley, then that means...
What does that mean?
It means that you got to play Kyle Anderson more and have him initiate and handle.
And Kyle has been good in this series.
I mean, he might have to play more Luka Doncic minutes as well.
Nas makes it a 2-point game here, 23-21. Luka step back three over McDaniels, online and on target. Boy, the step backs are falling for Luka. He's 5 for 9 in the first two games. And I believe that's his second tonight. There's McDaniels, thought about a three, instead tries the drive, cut off by Hardy. Tony Brothers saw some contact. He'll whistle the Dallas Mavericks for a foul. Tony Brothers, Ben Taylor, Curtis Blair, the three officials here tonight. Timeout on the floor. The under 3-minute break comes with 2:56 left to go in the first. Dallas on top by 5, 26-21 here in Game 3 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Bring the fun to family time with a visit to Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Start by making a splash and memories at the lagoon. Our indoor water park includes a lazy river, an activity pool, and more exciting features. Then hit the lanes at Island Extreme Bowl for some family-friendly competition before you head to our luxurious hotel for a relaxing night away. Book your stay now at ticasino.com. Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Destination fun.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I just adopted a new best friend, and I'm looking for a Toyota so we can make the most out of summer.
With a new RAV4, you can take your pup for a drive up the coast. You can take a Prius to the park for some tug-of-war. Or you can take a Tundra to kayak at a remote lake.
One problem, Jan.
Oh?
My new best friend's a cat.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
And Toyota brings us the scoreboard update. Visit your local Toyota dealers today or head to Toyota.com. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this Game 3 between the Timberwolves and Mavs. The Game 3 in the Eastern Conference Finals took place yesterday evening from Indiana. Pacers down 2-0 in the series, and without Tyrese Halliburton, he sat with the hamstring injury. Status still very much up in the air for tomorrow's Game 4. And despite leading by as many as 19 points in the first half, the Celtics came roaring back to erase that deficit, and Drew Holiday was the hero late in the fourth quarter.
Holiday attacks the paint, rises, scoops, scores, and the foul. And with 38.9 to go, Drew Holiday will calmly walk to the free throw line with a chance, wait for it, to give Boston the lead.
Oh, what a play this was. Right into the body. You reach, not going to teach.
Sean and Sed having a ton of fun as the Celtics hang on for a 114-111 victory. Holiday would hit the free throw to give them the lead. Aaron Nesmith had a three-point chance at the buzzer that would have knotted it up, but it was off the mark. So now the Pacers down 3-0 in the series. Might still be without Halliburton in tomorrow's Game 4. The Celtics might be able to sweep their way into the NBA Finals. Let's get back to Dallas and Alan Horton.
All right, Cal, thank you very much. So the Mavs rallied from 18 down to beat the Wolves 2 nights ago at Target Center. Last night, Celtics rallied from 18 down to beat the Pacers on their home floor. Put up one heck of an effort without Tyrese Halliburton. And really, that was a strange game, Jim, in the sense that Boston just lit it up from 3, and Indiana was all about the twos. Their points in the paint, they almost had 70 last night.
Yeah, I mean, Indiana's really up against it. No Tyrese Halliburton, and Boston seems like, they're destined for the NBA Finals here, up 3-0.
Well, Dallas has ideas about meeting Boston in the finals. They're up 2-0, and right now their offense is shooting 56%. They're 4 of 8 from beyond the arc and 4 of 4 at the free throw line. The only thing that's really slowed them down, plus their 9-4 advantage on the glass, 3 turnovers. But 2 of those came on the first 2 possessions, so there's only been 1 since. And we'll see if we get an update on Mike Conley, who went back to the locker room. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Kyle Anderson, Anthony Edwards, Naz Reid, and Rudy Gobert, the 5 on the floor. The Wolves are down by 5. They've got it from right to left here. And again, the Association Whites. Wolves have 5 different jerseys. They've worn 2 all postseason. The Classic and the Association Whites. Corner 3, no for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Out it comes. Naz Reid's got the rebound. Now Kyle, back to Naz, left angle. Tough catch. He's going to fire the 3. I don't like that shot after he fumbled it initially. And Dallas has the rebound.
And he was closely guarded.
Yeah, there's that too. Luka Doncic was right up in front of him. Here's Luka to the top of the key. Now to the corner, and Derrick Jones Jr. right back to Luka, left side of the floor in front of the Wolves bench. Kyle Anderson shading him, forcing him toward the baseline. Luka will go that way. Now the step back 3's an air ball. Terrific defense by K.A. Here's Ant on the attack. Off the Anderson screen. Got airborne. Back to Kyle Anderson in the paint. He's got the little runner with the right hand. Counted for 2.
How good has Kyle been in the painted area in this series?
Well, he's now 8 of 14 shooting. He's averaging 19 minutes a game. 9 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. This is a much better series as far as him getting playing time than the last 2 series against Phoenix and Denver. Wolves able to draw a foul here at the defensive end of the floor. It's offensive. They going to get Luke on that one?
Well,
they got Gafford on that.
So it's one of the things when I was looking at the video, and I was talking with Michael Grady about this at shoot-around today, is that when they set the screen and roll, take a charge on them.
Yeah.
Just go, because they are not looking. They are looking at, the roller is looking at Luka, and if you just step in and take a charge, you can totally do that. Nas just did it right there.
4th turnover on Dallas. Cat, catch and shoot 3, way offline. To the left, that didn't even draw iron. Cat shooting 28% in this series, and his 3 balls have not been falling either. Just 3 of 15 from deep. Drive by Kyrie to the corner and Josh Green. Back to Kyrie, who fills up the corner and drains the triple. Well, that's what Steph Curry brought to the NBA years and years ago, is his movement away from the ball. Give it up, get it back, relocate. And Kyrie was able to relocate, and there was nobody on him. 29-23, it's Dallas that leads by 6 late in the first quarter. Ant with a bounce pass around the perimeter, comes to Nas in the corner. He'll take a run across the lane. Difficult fall away. Not close. Rebound out of bounds. It's off Karl Anthony Towns. Dallas has possession, up by 6, 1:07 to go.
Talk about relocating. On that drive for Nas, who went from the left corner, Towns was camped out right next to Kyle Anderson in the painted area. He could have spaced out to the corner and given someone not for Nas to pass it to, and nobody was guarding him.
Derrick Jones Jr. initiates up top. Now to Kyrie on the right side. He's 35 feet out. They double him. Off to Derrick Jones Jr. right side. Got tripped up by Nas. Easy call for Tony Brothers, now in his 30th NBA season. He's the crew chief. I asked you the other night if, I can't remember who it was, that had their 200th career playoff game. Tony Brothers, 199th tonight. So you still have time to get him a gift for his 200th. You're getting backed up on gifts that you need to get some of these guys.
I've got a lot of shopping to do. You're right.
So Derrick Jones Jr. to the free throw line. Ben Taylor is the referee. He's in his 11th season. 40th playoff game for him. Curtis Blair. You might remember that name from a couple of years ago at home against Miami. Ant had perhaps the greatest in-game dunk we had seen maybe up until the John Collins dunk this year. But Curtis Blair waved it off. He pulled it out of NBA history. Right. That play technically doesn't exist.
Miami Heat game. That's right.
Oh. Hashtag never forget. Curtis Blair, 16th year. He's at it. This is his 41st playoff game. The Wolves are 4-1 in games that these 3 have reffed in the postseason. 5-2 in the regular season. So take those numbers for what they're worth. Free throws for Derrick Jones Jr., both good. Dallas 6 for 6 at the free throw line. Both teams have gotten to the stripe 6 times. But Dallas now leads by 8 here. It's their largest lead of the game. There's under a minute to go first quarter. Kyle Anderson drifts to his left. Luka Doncic playing well off him. He lobs it inside to Nas, who couldn't control it. Luka comes away with it. Spins on Kyle Anderson. Poked free from behind by K.A. Ant's got it. Off to K.A. Back to Ant. And he'll throw it down with authority with 2 hands.
6-point game now, 31-25.
And that is the 5th turnover on Dallas here in the opening quarter.
Man.
Wolves have turned those into 4 points. Derek Lively with it up top on Cat. Now to the right side, Kyrie takes a dribble towards the lane. Fake the pass to the corner and just got to the cup to lay it in. 7 points for Kyrie Irving. So the shot clock is off. Dallas does not have a foul to give. Ant with it out by midcourt with 8. Now with 7. Starts to go on Derrick Jones Jr. Left-handed dribble. Blows by him. Runs into Lively. Now lobs into the corner. Nikhil's got it. 1 second left. He'll fire the 3 and hit it. It drops through with 0.3 of a second left to go in the opening quarter. Big shot by Nikhil Alexander-Walker, who had missed his last 12 three-point attempts. 33-28. Dallas by 5. We go to the second quarter next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Get the champagne ready. The NBA Finals are here.
Welcome to the NBA Finals.
Let's raise our glasses and our rings to the 2 phenomenal teams left standing.
My goodness!
Here's to high-stakes action, to thrilling moments we can't miss.
He ties the game at the buzzer!
And to crowning our next champion. Here's a toast to the NBA Finals. The 2024 NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV, begin Thursday, June 6th on ABC.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
When it comes to watching the game, it's always nice to sit and savor a delicious snack. And Jack Link's protein snacks always hits the shot. Jack Link's beef jerky is made with 100% beef that's simply seasoned in hardwood smoke to deliver a mouth-watering, flavorful, good source of protein, convenient snack. Jack Link's, the official protein snack of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
We are professionals. We are family and friends. We are volunteers. We are community partners. We are a team dedicated to helping you succeed. We help protect and serve America's businesses. When you need us, we're here to help. At Federated Mutual Insurance Company, it's our business to protect yours. Rated A+ Superior by AM Best Company.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
One quarter is in the books. 33-28. Dallas leads by 5. They're being paced by Luka Doncic, who's got 8 points, a couple of assists. Kyrie Irving right behind him. He's got 7 to go along with 1 dime. Ant's got 9 points in the opening quarter, 3 of 6 from the field. He's also got 3 assists, 7 points for Jaden McDaniels. Speaking of Anthony Edwards, he was asked after shoot-around today about, well, the shooting slump that he's in. It really goes back the last 5 games. He's shooting, really struggling from the field. Those last 5 games, just 34%. He's not concerned, as you might imagine.
I don't change nothing, man. I put the work in, so I don't really worry about missing or making shots. At the end of the day, man, it's going to go in or it's going to go out. I don't really trip, man. I put the work in this summer and throughout the season, so I don't really trip when I'm missing.
Yeah, Ant's never one to lack for confidence, and he looks more on point here tonight in this opening quarter.
He really does. He's determined. There's no doubt. Edwards has 9 points in the game. Towns is still scoreless here. It's good to see Mike Conley back on the court for Minnesota.
Yeah,
he's going to check back in here.
We can assume he just went back to take a break. Who knows? Get a little treatment, maybe use the bathroom. Who knows? One thing about Ant, his assists have just been not just your average, hey, we get 2 points out of this. In game 1, he had 8 assists that led to 20 points. In game 2, he had 7 assists that led to 18 points. So he's setting up threes 4, sometimes 5 times a game. Really impactful assists.
Exactly right.
Here's Kyle Anderson up the center of the floor. Wolves from right to left here. Mavericks are in their navy blue uniforms. These are the statement editions. Here's Cat driving in. Boy, got the knee up on Lively. I think they called the foul on Lively. I wouldn't be surprised if Jason Kidd and the staff look at this and see if, yep, that knee goes right into the midsection of Lively. And they likely are going to challenge this, and it's going to be the first offensive. It's going to be a foul on Cat and an offensive, and it's going to give Dallas the basketball. 33-28. Dallas leads by 5. Timeout on the floor. We step aside. We'll let you know the results when we come back on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Is it possible to detect the undetectable? Could people record their voice and share it with doctors who'll use advanced AI technology that can accurately detect signals in the human voice that are indicators of coronary artery disease? Is it possible? It already is, because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
Hey, honey, the battery light on my dash lit up. I think I'll take it to a shop today.
Really? I can take care of that.
Are you sure?
Of course. Okay, got my battery. Let's just drop it in and...
Are you okay out there?
I think so.
Should my car be smoking like that?
Some things are better left to the professional. When you need your vehicle fixed, trust your local repair facility. And when you need a battery, trust FVP. Visit FVPparts.com for an installer near you.
Hey, this is Ben Lieber from my friends at Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef. You know, I am passionate about the benefits of regenerative agriculture, and these guys get it. Thousand Hills implements holistic grazing practices that restore and enhance our soil and natural resources. It's how farming should be. Plus, the beef is delicious. No antibiotics, no synthetic hormones, no feedlot confinements, just grazing on diverse pastures for the entire life of the animal. Check out this Minnesota brand at your local food co-op, Coburn's, or learn more at thousandhillslifetimegraze.com.
Your lucky jersey, your pack, your hometown team. It's Superfan season in Minneapolis downtown, so don't miss out on a minute of fun, friends, and nonstop excitement. From pregame meetups to postgame celebrations, be there for your favorite teams and the big wins. In Minneapolis, we play for the love of the game, and you're the best part of our story. Visit MPLSdowntown.com to get your game on. See you downtown.
.38, Dallas leads by 5. We're just underway in the second quarter. The challenge by the Mavericks. Maybe the worm is starting to turn. The Mavericks lose the challenge. Tony Brothers says that is the upward natural shooting motion of Karl Anthony Towns. That's bad news for Derek Lively, who picks up his second. Also, he takes a knee to the man region, which never can feel too good. Gafford and Lively each with 2. But this was an interesting play, Jim, because you were talking about a play that it goes back to that you remember from earlier this year.
Yeah, regular season where a Timberwolves player took a charge, similarly got kneed in the groin area, and because the offensive player, was in the upward shooting motion, they called the foul on the defender, and it went against the Timberwolves too. So unsuccessful challenge for Jason Kidd. Minnesota gets a break, and now they lose the timeout and their challenge for the rest of the game.
Ooh, how about that? Because they had been 4-0 on challenges. The Wolves have been 0-1. And over 2 games, 5 possessions that's gone in favor of Dallas, rightfully or wrongfully, who knows. But that's felt like it's been a big swing. That's a bunch of possessions right there.
It really is. And to their credit, I mean, they made the right challenges. So in any event, it's Derek Lively, he's going to pick up his second foul, and he's going to take a big-time knee, and he's back in the game right now for Dallas, so he's no worse for the wear.
Yeah, so Lively will stay on. Gafford and Lively each have 2 fouls now. Towns misses the first free throw. The crowd enjoys that.
This series right now is lending itself to the fodder that both in the narratives that Gobert and Towns have been trying to fight in the playoffs, that they're clutch players, that they're valuable players, that you can't play them off the floor. The one about Rudy, though, it's just not been true. You just don't watch the game if you think that that's true about Rudy Gobert.
Wolves look like they're backing into a zone here. Is Kyrie open in the corner? Kyle was out late in covering. The 3-ball, no, but an offensive rebound tapped out. Hardy has it on the wing. Back to Kyrie Irving, left angle. 33-29. It's a 4-point game. Cat hit 1 out of 2 at the stripe. Kyrie lost it, got it back, drives in. No look to the corner, and Exum. Now Hardy at the angle. Shoves off on Mike, frees himself. 16-footer at the buzzer is good. Pretty good defense by the Timberwolves for beyond 24 seconds there, because there was an offensive rebound involved. So Dallas leads by 6, 11 minutes to go, second quarter. Mike Conley, along with Karl Anthony Towns, Naz Reid, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Kyle Anderson. Here's Naz on the drive, gets by Lively and runs it up off glass. And Lively's got to be careful, so this might be a chance for the Wolves to kind of attack the rookie.
Naz is so good with his left hand tacking, too.
Naz has 4 points, a rebound, and a dime. Here's Kyrie at the hash mark far side. Off the Lively screen, zips it right side. Hardy fakes right, comes left against Conley. Baseline, runs up the shot, and they call it offensive foul. Tony Brothers couldn't wait to whistle that one against Jaden Hardy. Tony Brothers gets his whole body behind those calls. Now let's see what Hardy does here with the off arm. Yeah, he kind of shoves off. A little bit of hand-to-hand combat there. But Dallas does not have... Oh, he hooks the arm. He did. He got Mike's arm.
He hooked him with the left arm for sure.
Tried to do a
100%.
curl with a Mike Conley left arm. Dallas, again, does not have a timeout, a challenge the rest of the game. Come on. Did these 19,200 people not see that the boos are getting louder? They're getting more and more angry. It's like a hornet's nest.
So far, the team that fans start the ref you suck call tend to lose the basketball game.
Yeah,
so
good point.
We're pulling for that right now.
Conley left side. Here's Towns. He'll take a run to the block, a one-footed fall away baseline, and a loose ball foul battling for the rebound. It'll go against Dallas. Oh, now the crowd's really upset. 8 fouls now against the Mavericks, 5 against the Timberwolves.
I'm not sure what Karl Anthony Towns' philosophy is out here offensively. He's 0 for 4 again.
He takes a one-footed fall away for no reason.
It's exactly what Chris Finch was telling you in the coach's pregame show about how he wanted that shot. Here we go.
There
we got it. This is going to be a Timberwolves win tonight.
Victory. Let's all go home. Here's Ant missing a right side jumper, and they call a loose ball foul on Cat on the weak side. And Towns will pick up his first personal foul. Yeah, back to your Rudy point. When Rudy's on the floor, not only in this series, but in the postseason, Rudy has been absolutely unbelievable. In 75 minutes of these 2 games, the Wolves are a plus 11. That means they're outscoring Dallas by 11. Left side 3 by Hardy drops in. And it's 38-31. When he sits in 21 minutes, the Wolves are a minus 15. Yeah. Both those marks are the best on the team. That lets you know, there's a lot of things you can read into stats. That's kind of a crucial one in the overall sense of, are you winning the minutes that he's on the floor? The answer is yes. Yeah. Clearly yes. Here's Nas with it up top, off the feed from Ant. Gets a nice screen from Kyle Anderson, who set a back screen there on Lively, and the rookie was helpless. Nas drives and finishes. 38-33, it's a 5-point game. Here's Kyrie off the Lively screen left side. Beyond the arc, he's doubled. Bounce pass to Josh Green up top. Now to the right corner. Here's Derrick Jones Jr. buries the 3. Dallas 7 of 13 on their threes here in this first half. They lead by 8, 41-33. Conley to the corner and Nas Reed, and a whistle stops play and an offensive foul against Kyle Anderson. I did not see what happened there. It was away from the ball. Mike Conley had up top, and now a technical foul has been called. Kyle Anderson picks that up.
And Kyle kept on arguing the call. He was asking for the bench to maybe challenge it, and then he kept on making gestations towards Tony Brothers and waved him off at the end. That was the last straw for Tony Brothers.
So Kyrie will step to the free throw line to take the technical free throw. Trying to give Dallas their largest lead of the half. He does not. Wow, another missed free throw for Kyrie Irving. That's his first of the night, but he missed 3 the other night. Yeah, he was 2 of 5. Even Jason Kidd gave him a hard time in the locker room after that. I think he finished up his speech and said, I think he said 1, 2, 3 free throws. Because Kyrie was the one guy who really struggled the line, 2 of 5. Irving has it now right side. Beats Conley off the dribble, pulls up mid-post and sinks it. So a 10-point Dallas lead. It's a 5-0 Dallas run to go up by double digits. It is the first double-digit lead for the Mavericks in this series. And they're up 2 games to none. Well, lets you know how close the first 2 games have been. Ant nearly lost it, tracks it down. Mike feeds it to Kyle Anderson, free throw line extended. Here's Mike on the runner down the lane, in and out, no. The rebound out of bounds off Derrick Jones Jr. It'll stay Timberwolves basketball. Cat came soaring in there.
Derek Lively, again, on the ground right here.
Oh, he got kicked in the back of the head. That was from Cat inadvertently. Lively was falling down, and Cat came soaring in. Oh,
hit him in the knee.
A knee to the back of the head. That is very serious stuff. And Lively is still down. 8:35 left to go in the second quarter. Dallas leads by 10, 43-33.
I mean, the amount of force, because Lively is falling down to the ground and Karl Anthony Towns is coming from the opposite direction and lifting his knee up to jump off the floor to rebound the basketball. And I don't think his knee could have had any more force than it did when it hit his head. I mean,
yes, really unfortunate timing.
It was maximum level of force right there, the way that Towns hit him in the back of the head.
So Lively is still down. He is holding the back of his head with 2 hands. His entire team is around him. Dallas has been forced to call a timeout. So we'll step aside. We'll come back and try to get you an update on the status of Derek Lively II, who is down here early in this second quarter. We step aside from Dallas on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I just adopted a new best friend, and I'm looking for a Toyota so we can make the most out of summer.
With a new RAV4, you can take your pup for a drive up the coast. You can take a Prius to the park for some tug-of-war. Or you can take a Tundra to kayak at a remote lake.
One problem, Jan.
Oh?
My new best friend's a cat.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
It's another scoreboard update as we look at the Eastern Conference Finals matchup. Yesterday evening's Game 3 from Indiana. Pacers backs against the wall, trailing 2-0 in the series and playing without Tyrese Halliburton, who sat with that hamstring injury that forced him out of Game 2 late in the third quarter. The good news, Indy built a lead as large as 19 in the first half. The bad news, Celtics came roaring back in the final frame, tied things up with Drew Holiday's driving and one, and ultimately captured a 114-111 road victory. They're now up 3-0 in the series. Pacers facing elimination tomorrow night in Game 4. But after that Game 3 loss, here's their head coach, Rick Carlisle, on what changed from first half to second half.
You know, we have a lot of guys stepping up into bigger minutes in Tyrese's absence. And so, we slowed down a little bit down the stretch. And, that's the time of game where we're set up right now. We've got to keep tempo in the game. So, that's something that we got to do. And we missed some shots, and there was some plays where they could have gone a different way.
Yeah, Aaron Nesmith had a look at the buzzer, a three-point opportunity that would have tied the game. Instead, the Pacers fall. They're now down 3-0 in the series and need a win tomorrow night. This update brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com today. Let's go back to Dallas. Alan and Jim.
All right, Cal, the good news is Derek Lively II got back up to his feet, and he needed some help, but he heads back toward the Dallas locker room after taking a knee from Karl Anthony Towns to the back of the head. Lively, again, when the shot went up, Lively got tripped up, fell, and his head collided with the back of Karl Anthony Towns' right knee. And as Jim said, sort of maximum contact there.
Really
That's, boy, with all the concussion and how serious that has become, we've realized how serious concussions have become over the last decade or so. That was a pretty big collision.
He looks really shaky, too, walking back to the locker room. And it took two people to carry him back there. He was kind of stumbling on his way to the locker room, so you really hope that he's going to be okay.
Daniel Gafford will come in, the starting center. He's got 2 personal fouls, and a guy we haven't seen in this series that likely will be next off the bench would be Dwight Powell, who played a big role for this Mavericks team, certainly before he blew out his Achilles a few years ago.
Dwight Powell has been the guy that's been the pick-and-roll partner with Luka Doncic and the lob dunk threat that, is kind of brought to what we have right now with this Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford pairing. So Dwight Powell knows what to do, how to get in and out of ball screens and to go to the rim. He's got great athleticism as well.
He might be called upon pretty quick especially if Gafford picks up a third foul. Plus, Gafford's not used to playing extended minutes. They go in these 4 or 5, 6-minute stints. He and Lively just keep rotating. Conley will trigger in. I don't think Dallas was charged with a timeout. Tony Brothers made the announcement here. Sort of a medical timeout. Here's Towns with it up top. Up fakes the three. Got to step on Gafford. To the free throw line out to Conley. Left angle triple. No. And the rebound comes down to Daniel Gafford. So Luka up into the front court. 8 points, couple of assists. It's back out there with Conley on him. Gives it off to Irving and gives it right back. Now back to Irving, catch and shoot 3. Missed it short and up high for the rebound. Here come the Wolves from right to left. Trailing by 10. Dallas again has not had a double-digit lead in the first 2 games. They've got one here in Game 3. And spins mid-post, kick out Nas, left angle to the corner, and Jaden. He comes across the lane and gets tackled, tripped, kicked. I think he got bit as well. Bitten. Foul on Derrick Jones Jr. and They will not put Jaden at the free throw line, sideline out of bounds.
Boy, it's really evident, both of these teams, the technique they're using to close out to these corner three-point shooters. They get onto the right side of these shooters, and they run them off the line.
Right side where they're taking a shot from for a right-hander.
Exactly right.
Here's Ant pulling up off a Nas screen. Left angle three is no good. The rebound. Miscommunication between Josh Green and Luka Doncic ends up right in the hands of Mike Conley. Now Nas trying to take advantage. Straightaway three, no. Towns, nope. It's Rudy. Offensive rebound. Put back off the glass is good.
Rudy comes into the game right away and makes his impact with the offensive rebound.
Finished up the regular season second in offensive rebounds, second in second chance points. Here's Luka left side. Jaden McDaniels on him off a staggered screen to the right side. Now Rudy and Mike are both on him, and they both bump into Doncic, and they'll get Rudy on the foul. And Luka, took exception to some of the contact that Rudy dished out in game two. I mean, there was one play where Rudy literally just kind of punched him right in the stomach. But both of Rudy's fouls have been on Doncic here in this first half.
So Rudy gets the forearm up into the chest of Luka Doncic, but Luka completely oversells it and then looks at Rudy incredulously. Foul called, but I mean, he's really playing that up.
Luka, 30-footer straight away. It's an air ball out of bounds. That'll work for Minnesota as they take possession down by 8 with 7:06 left.
You got to admit, Luka Doncic has a sense of the dramatic, right? I mean, he really does play up the foul calls and draws fouls a lot with his facial expression and body language.
No doubt. Here's Conley up into the front court to the right side of Anthony Edwards. Now to the corner, and Nas thought about a three. Instead drives the baseline, kicks out to the opposite corner. Jaden wide open for the three, and he buries it. His second corner three of the half, and the Wolves on a 5-0 run.
He leads Minnesota in scoring right now. He's perfect from the field, 4 for 4, 2 threes, and he's got 10 points in the game.
I mean, Jaden had just 2 points in game number 2. Derek Jones Jr. buries a right corner three of his own. He's hit 2 of those tonight.
8 of 16 for Dallas from outside the arc, 4 of 12 for Minnesota.
46-38. Ant with it up top. Probes on Kyrie, now backs it out. To the left side, Jaden McDaniels, quick move on P.J. Washington, drives in over Gafford, runs it up with the right hand. No, the rebound tapped out. Luka's got it on the move. Up into the front court, veering to his right. Cross court, open, Irving to the angle, Jones. Now up top, Washington. P.J. into the paint, runs it up with the right hand, and hits it. That's just good ball movement. That's good offense, side to side, around the perimeter. Take what the defense is giving you.
And attack the closeout, too.
61% shooting for Dallas in the first half. Wow, Ant trying to knife his way through between 3 defenders. And they call a foul or kickball?
Jones Jr.
They got Derek Jones Jr. on the foul.
I thought it was going to be on Gafford. I thought it was going to be his third. But
there were 2 more defenders waiting for him if Ant got through there. It's basically 4 defenders on him.
Towns back in. Nas Reed is down.
Nas in 11 minutes, 6 points. Did not hit a 3, but got a couple of drives to the rim that he was able to finish. Ant will trigger in far side opposite the Dallas bench. Mike Conley now in the corner against Irvin. Off to Rudy, handoff back to Mike. 2-man game here. Zipping it up top. Here's Cat. Catch and shoot 3. Missed it short. Towns is 0 for 5 shooting, 0 for 2 from distance. Now shooting about 26% for the series. Luka right side. Up fakes the 3. Drives on McDaniels. Gets the free throw line. Takes some contact. And then Jaden just reaches out and grabs his left wrist. And it looked like Luka was going to take exception to that. But he did not. They tap each other.
Well, they're both Bill Duffy clients.
Second foul on Jaden McDaniels.
This is quite the series for Bill Duffy.
Who's he got?
He's got Luka Doncic. He's got Jaden McDaniels. And, of course, he's got Anthony Edwards as well. So, I mean, could you have any more skin in the game than those 3 right there?
No. That's pretty good.
That's pretty. If you're going to have 3 players, I mean, obviously you'd like to have Kyrie Irving too, but
MVP chance for Luka, not quite. He finished 3rd in the MVP voting. He has finished in the top 5 in MVP voting 3 different times. If he can capitalize off of this and translate this to a full season, I mean, he's on his way to winning an MVP. 7-0 Dallas run over the last 1 minute, 5 seconds. They lead by 12. So after the 10-point lead was cut to 5, now Dallas has pushed it back up to a dozen. Ant, little shoulder fake, turnaround jumper at the elbows, well short. Jaden, offensive rebound. Back out to Ant. Ant with a left-handed dribble off the Gobert screen. Nothing develops. Now to the right side. Jaden moves it to Cat in the corner. 3 ball on the way. That's no good. Tip follow for Ant. That wouldn't drop. Second time he got it. Right hand on the first tip. Left hand on the second. It finally drops. Edwards now with 11 points. 50-40. Kyrie spins away from Conley. Drives in. Missed the layup. A little too strong. Rebound loose, and Ant comes away with it. Bulls have numbers 3-on-2. Hit ahead to Conley. Back to Ant. He drives in. Takes the wild shot. Oh, they're going to call an offensive foul. It's that man again, Curtis Blair. Well, the Wolves need to take a look at this, and they are going to challenge it. Yeah, I don't think he got there. There's no way Luka Doncic. Yeah, Luka is saying, yeah, challenge that. He took the brunt of that. He can take that scream. I think he's going to lose this call. Challenged by the Timberwolves. 4:39 left to play in the first half. Dallas 50. Minnesota 40 on the Timberwolves radio network.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through.
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel. Good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
It's offensive foul. The challenge is unsuccessful.
4:39 left to go in the first half, and the Timberwolves have not won the challenge. And again, that's one of the quicker reviews. We've had 2 really quick reviews over these first 3 games. The Wolves are without a challenge, so is Dallas. So that foul gets charged to Ant. That's his first. That was really close. It's always difficult when you look at the replay, Jim, to determine. They always talk to us at the broadcast league meetings about, well, it's when you go into the gather, right? Or the upward motion. Maybe it's not the gather. The upward motion, that's when you look at the defender. Are they set? Are they positioned? It's such a difficult call to administer.
Well, and, really, Mike didn't really press the issue because once Ant gave it up to Mike, Mike pretty much gave it back to him right away. So Luka did a great job of running straight down the floor to get back and protect the paint. And once Mike gave it back to Ant, he just basically turned around and got his feet set. So I really think that Ant, it was kind of bang, bang. It's right at the point of controversy because Ant is launching as Luka's turning around. And Luka was waving at Minnesota's bench. He was saying, go ahead and charge it if you want to and have this thing challenge it.
He always motivates. I mean, he's such a high-wired guy. He is always playing games, whether it's with screaming at Rudy Gobert or, hey, yeah, challenge that. Go ahead. Whatever gets you going, that's his thing.
Well, it's worked for him.
He was right.
He's been fantastic this playoff run. He's only got 2 games in this entire run that he didn't get the 20 points. They lost both of those games, by the way. So if you want to know how to beat Dallas, it'd be nice if you could keep Luka Doncic under 20 points.
I didn't even know that was possible. The way he's been playing this postseason.
Yeah,
he is. Only Michael Jordan has a higher postseason scoring average than Luka Doncic. MJ averaged 33 points a game in the postseason in his career. Luka's at 31 points a game. And obviously Luka does not have the volume of games. This is his 43rd postseason game. But that's a pretty good chunk, 43 postseason games, to average 31 points. Timberwolves basketball tonight in Game 3, brought to you in part by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Timberwolves. And by Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Book your stay now at TICasino.com. Treasure Island, the exclusive casino partner of the Timberwolves. Luka so far tonight, relatively quiet, 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. But one thing that's impressed me, Jim, about Luka and Kyrie is the way they've kind of tag team games, right? Yeah. One gets hot, then the other one gets hot, then it comes back to the other one. I mean, in Game 1, you had Luka's big fourth quarter and Kyrie's big first half. Yeah. In Game 2, you had Luka with a big, Kyrie with a big fourth quarter, and Luka was just dominant in the second half when he had 16 points and 8 assists. They just trade off so well. Kyrie off the inbound, has it right corner against Ant, into the paint, rises up, goes to the left hand and floats it up and in. Dallas once again leads by a dozen, matching their largest lead of the game. Largest lead of the series. Conley, Towns, Gobert, Edwards, and McDaniel. Starting five out there. Off the Rudy screen. Cat's got it. Dumps it inside to Rudy to the rim and jams it for two. The one thing Cat has done well in this series is run that 4-5 pick and roll with Gobert.
Exactly right. It's one of the things that's worked for them. So, just was going to ask you the question. If you were going to try to get offense for Karl Anthony Towns, how would you do it? I mean, it's they can't ham and egg it like Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving can. Anthony Edwards can find offense, but how do you find offense for Karl?
Yeah. Here's Josh Green inside. There's Dwight Powell missing the layup. He's a little bit rusty. Has not played in this series. Wolves come away with the ball. They trail by 10. Ant gets around Doncic in the lane out to Conley. Up top, Towns catch and shoot three on the way is short. Rebound. Rudy got a hand to it, but Dwight Powell collects. No Derek Lively the second. Out right now with a concussion or concussion-like symptoms. Powell sets the high screen. Doncic to the corner. Wow. P.J. Washington wide open. Missed the three. Wolves get a break there, but Doncic pulls down the offensive rebound. In between Gobert and Ant. That can't happen. Luka up top finds P.J. again. In the lane. Floats it up. That one a little too strong, and Towns clears the rebound. Here comes Ant up the center of the floor. The Wolves are down by 10 with under 3 to go in the first half. Conley tried to lob it inside looking for Rudy. Got deflected, but fortunately it comes right back to him. Conley now to the right side of the floor. Quick move on Doncic. Blow by. Runs into Josh Green and Powell. His pass cross court deflected and turned over. Luka with it up the center of the floor. Numbers aren't there. He angles to his left. Now against McDaniels. Near tried to pick up a third foul on Jaden. Couldn't do it. Now Luka gets it back. McDaniels on him with 2:30 left to go in the half. 52-42. Luka holds. Shot clock to 7. Works to his left with a left-handed dribble. The one-footed fall away off the heel. No. Rebound. Towns has it off to Rudy Gobert. Now Anthony Edwards spins away from Doncic, crossing midcourt. Ant with a head of steam, follows Rudy in the lane, runs up a difficult shot. It got swatted, but a whistle and a foul. And that's going to send Ant to the free throw line for 2 shots.
Did P.J. Washington just signal for a review?
Yeah, he did not get the memo that Dallas lost a challenge earlier. It's so ingrained now, isn't it? The Wolves have been guilty of this too. Like in a late third quarter, someone's like, "Hey, review." Yeah, we lost that back in the first quarter.
I know. Actually, if Dwight Powell just keeps his hands vertical, he still probably blocks the shot and there's no foul call. But swiping down, it's what I tell young players all the time. Don't swipe down when you're blocking shots. Just stay walled up. You got a better chance of getting to stop and then also not fouling. Anthony Edwards misses the first free throw, by the way.
You're right. If you extend those arms out, you're just asking to be called for a foul.
Exactly right.
Because the officials can see that. 1 out of 2 at the free throw line for Anthony Edwards. He's got 12 points on 4 of 11 shooting. Dallas has 6 offensive rebounds. And Kyrie pulls up for a right side 3 and drains it. Well, Dallas has now hit 9 of 19 from beyond the arc. That's 47%. They're back up by 12. High post Towns back to the basket. Here comes Kyrie from behind. Tried to strip him. Cat was strong with the ball. Right side to Ant. Now Rudy sets the screen. Back up top Towns. Fakes the 3. Drives in. Lefty layup. It rattles around and drops. First field goal of the game for Karl Anthony Towns. He had missed his first 7 shots. Comes with 1:40 left to go in the first half. There's Gafford inside. Did he travel? He did. Ben Taylor saw that. Turnover on Dallas. That's their 7th. Wolves get the ball back here, down by 10.
Well, Daniel Gafford has not scored in this game. He's not even attempted a single shot in the ball game either. Derek Lively, who got the back of the head injury with Karl Anthony Towns earlier in the second period, he's scored 6 points. So
all on dunks.
That's one thing. He got them all 3 in a row, too.
Yep. There's Towns moving from the elbow, drives in, layup again, good with the left hand. So Karl's starting to find his rhythm. 2 straight shots. 55-47. How about a stop with 1:13 left? Doncic banging away with McDaniels. Now switched on to Nikhil Alexander-Walker at the elbow. Now to the mid-post, rises up and hits it. Oh, and he kind of points at Tony Brothers, too. He wanted the N1. 57-47. McDaniels now to Towns up top. Dumps it inside. Beautiful feed from Towns, and Jaden with the layup. Back to an 8-point game.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a score here, or just get a stop here and get a score if you're Minnesota. Cut this thing down.
Doncic catch and shoot. Left wing 3 is online. Buries it.
That was at the hash mark right there.
3 of 7 from beyond the arc. Doncic now up to 15. Wow. Kyrie's got 14. Unreal. Wolves are down by 11. Ant's got it. Hash mark right in front of Jason Kidd and the Dallas bench. Off the Rudy screen, Cat up top, deep three on the way. That's not his shot. Rebound tapped up. Rudy's got it. Put back, yes. I think Cat gets caught up in the moment sometimes. He sees Luka do it. He sees Kyrie do it. That's not his shot 5 feet beyond the arc. 60-51. It's a 2-second differential. Game clock, shot clock. Timberwolves do have a foul to give, but they don't want to use it. Especially if Jaden McDaniels is a defender. He's got 2 fouls. Gafford, high screen. Right side, Kyrie. Up top, Luka. Catch and shoot 3. Off the back iron, no. Wolves have the rebound. 1 second left. Oh, wow. Whistle and a foul. Dallas did not have a foul to give. Question is, what end of the floor this is. This is going to be Wolves free throws with 0.3 of a second left. And that's Gafford's 3rd foul. What a tremendous mistake that was.
So dumb.
That's a blatant foul.
The game clock was winding down. Rudy Gobert had the basketball. Gafford reaches across his arms and fouls him.
Rudy's got a chance to make this a 7-point game at the half. So Rudy Gobert attempting his first free throw attempts of the game. He's 8 of 12 at the free throw line in this series. Luka's trying to play some games with him on the lane, stutter stepping, trying to fake him out a little bit. Rudy didn't fall for it, knocked down the free throw. 60-52 with 0.3 of a second left to go in the second quarter. Off the back iron, no. Rebound out of bounds. The horn sounds, and that'll do it for the first half of play.
I'll take 1 point.
Take 1 point. I'll take an 8-point game if the Wolves trailed by as many as 12 there. Final 144, Minnesota 9-5 edge. And Cat kind of got going. You know what I think got him going? Was maybe that pass to Rudy, a couple of assists that he's gotten, kind of getting him in the flow, even though that really has nothing to do with his shooting touch.
Helped his rhythm. But, Towns is 0 of 5 from outside the arc. The 2 baskets he got were rim attacks. So he found some rhythm playing through the elbow, Allen. And so that's where they were trying to get him the basketball. He was aggressive, and he got paid off.
Wolves are going to need a lot more of that in the second half. They trail by 8. They're down 2-0 in Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals. Stay tuned. We're at halftime, where Cal Soderquist anchors your halftime coverage next, all across the Timberwolves radio network.
Why do we say I'm into basketball? Because basketball's exciting, like catching a T-shirt from a cannon or feeling the pulse of a packed arena. There's the in-your-face slam dunks, the highlight reel alley-oops, and the 3-point buzzer beaters. It all gets your heart pounding. Just like playing the lottery. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
Wolves fans want to get playoff tickets right now?
Nas, 2-on-2, sets up Ant, right side, wide open 3. Yes, sir!
Become a 2024-25 season member, and you can pick out your seats for the 2024 playoffs today.
There's Plumlee diving in on Rudy and blocks the shot. The 3rd block of the game for Gobert.
Memberships feature phenomenal perks like 25% off concessions and team merch at every Wolves home game. Plus, pay for your membership monthly.
You gotta love it!
Learn more at timberwolves.com/memberships.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel. Good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Nice to get a score here, or just get a stop here and get a score if you're Minnesota. Cut this thing down.
Doncic catch and shoot, left wing 3 is online. Buries it.
That was at the hash mark right there.
3 of 7 from beyond the arc. Doncic now up to 15. Wow. Kyrie's got 14. Unreal. Wolves are down by 11. Ant's got it, hash mark right in front of Jason Kidd and the Dallas bench.
Luka Doncic laughing at Jim Peterson's ambitions as Minnesota trailing for much of these first 24 minutes. They're down 8 at the halftime intermission at 60-52. Luka leading the way for Dallas with 15. His backcourt partner Kyrie Irving just behind him with 14, and the Mavs have a healthy 18-point advantage in terms of the three-point shooting. Like you just heard, Luka knocking that one down. He was 3 of 8 from long range. So the Wolves trailed by as many as a dozen in this first half. They've got some work to do in the upcoming third quarter. Welcome inside the Minnesota Lottery Halftime Show. Cal Soderquist back here in our NBA Tonight studios in the Twin Cities. We'll dive into a few more of the highlights from Dallas in just a second. We'll glance at that first half box score as well. Wolves shot just, a rather productive 47% from the field. Struggled, though, from the three-point line. Just 4 of 16, and like we said, getting outscored by 18 in terms of Dallas's effective and efficient 10 of 21 from 3. Luka and Kyrie have combined for 29 points. They continue to roll offensively. Meanwhile, Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards, to some degree, both continue to struggle. Cat just 2 of 10 from the field. Ant does lead the way for the Wolves with his 12 points. Both he and Jaden McDaniels sharing the team-high scoring honors with a dozen each. But Ant just 4 of 11 from the field, 0 of 2 from deep. Did fill up the stat sheet with 6 rebounds and a team-best 5 assists. But Karl Anthony Towns struggling 2 of 10 and 0 of 5 from the three-point line. We'll also catch you up on the Eastern Conference Finals as the Celtics took a 3-0 series lead with last night's win. And then we'll get you right back to Dallas for third quarter action. Before we do anything else, better late than never. Let's pause 10 quick seconds and allow our stations across the network to identify themselves here on your home for Timberwolves basketball.
Max Fuller here, a.k.a. Rudy Frobert. Catch me after Game 3 on Howlin' with the Homies, presented by ABC, right here on FM 100.3 KFXN, Minneapolis, St. Paul, The Fan.
Wolves and Mavs are at the break in Game 3. Let's dive into a few of these first half highlights. It feels like now or never time for the Timberwolves. Down 0-2 in the series. Each of these next 2 games, of course, taking place in Dallas. Wolves have been quite good on the road in this postseason, 5-1 so far in the playoffs. And we heard Anthony Edwards at this morning's shoot-around vow that he would be letting it fly early and often in this one, true to his word in the first quarter.
Here's Conley to the right side. They get it to Ant on the move. Right side, he pulls up over Luka and sticks the jumper from 15. So Ant's hit his last 2 shots. Timberwolves down 3 with 6:50 left to go first quarter.
9 in the opening frame for Ant. He led all scorers. That was great to see. The problem, though, the hero from Game 2, he was cooking in that first frame as well.
Nas makes it a 2-point game here, 23-21. Luka, step back 3 over McDaniels, online and on target. Boy, the step backs are falling for Luka. He's 5 for 9 in the first 2 games. And I believe that's his second tonight.
Of course, hit that step-back 30-footer over Rudy Gobert to lift the Mavs to a Game 2 victory. He and the Mavs led by as many as 8 in that opening quarter, but Nickeil Alexander-Walker keeping Minnesota within striking distance.
Dallas does not have a foul to give. Ant with it out by midcourt with 8. Now with 7. Starts to go on Derrick Jones Jr. Left-handed dribble. Blows by him. Runs into Lively. Now lobs it to the corner. Nickeil's got it. 1 second left. He'll fire the 3 and hit it. It drops through with 0.3 of a second left to go in the opening quarter. Big shot by Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who had missed his last 12 three-point attempts.
Yeah, that was his only bucket of the first half, just 1 of 2 in his 9 minutes. But that triple from Nickeil at least got the Wolves back to within 5. They trailed 33-28 at the end of 1. Certainly need a little more defensive resistance than 33 first quarter points. Wolves did make some improvements in that regard in the second quarter. The problem, though, just 3 minutes into that second frame, Dallas boosting their lead to 10. First time all series, they'd enjoyed a double-digit advantage. Jaden McDaniels doing his best to chip into the deficit.
Here's Conley up into the front court to the right side of Anthony Edwards. Now to the corner, and Nas thought about a 3, instead drives the baseline, kicks out to the opposite corner. Jaden wide open for the 3, and he buries it. His second corner 3 of the half, and the Wolves on a 5-0 run.
He leads Minnesota in scoring right now. He's perfect from the field, 4 for 4, 2 threes, and he's got 10 points in the game.
Did suffer a miss late in that second frame. He's 5 of 6 now, but his 12 points co-leads the Timberwolves along with Anthony Edwards and his 12. And it just feels like in the second half, as again, Jaden rallied the Wolves as close as 5 before Dallas reestablished a lead as large as 12. It's 8 right now at the break. It feels like someone's going to have to get hot and knock down a few triples to allow Minnesota to sort of jolt themselves back into this ball game. They're just 4 of 16 from long range. Cats 0 of 5. Ant has missed both of his attempts. Even Mike Conley just 1 of 3. So someone's going to have to catch fire and kind of shoot Minnesota back into this contest, and hopefully the defense can cool off the Dallas Mavericks. They shot 54% from the field in that first half as a team, connected on 10 of 21 on their triples, and Luka and Kyrie are at it again. They've combined for 29 points, 10 of 22 from the field, 5 of 13 from long range. Luka's got 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 dimes, and again, the Mavs, like Luka has done, certainly in these first 2.5 games, they have controlled the majority of this first half here tonight. Timberwolves with work left to do, but still time left to do it. We'll take another pause, quickly run through the Eastern Conference Finals before we get you back to Dallas next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
You are our local businesses. You are our community partners, our neighbors, families, and friends. You represent the American dream and uphold the spirit in which it was created. Since 1904, Federated Mutual Insurance Company has been honored to serve and help protect your business. When you need us, we're here to help, face to face. At Federated Insurance, it's our business to protect yours. Rated A+ Superior by AM Best Company.
The NBA app is everyone's app. Every fan of every team.
Oh, my goodness.
Everyone who follows LeBron, Tatum, and Embiid in the app. Every warrior who's ready to go to battle over 3-point percentages. Every streetwear king who's here for the tunnel fits. Every young buck, nugget, and grizzly who wants to take a peek behind the scenes of the league. And everyone else on this floating basketball we call Earth. Download the NBA app today. Available in the Google Play, Apple app, and Android stores.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
At the half here at Game 3 in Dallas, it's the Timberwolves who trail the Mavericks 60-52. Luka Doncic, 15. Kyrie Irving, 14. 11 for Derrick Jones Jr. They have 3 players in double figures. The offensive rating right now for Dallas is a whopping 136, and that's 136 points per 100 possessions, Jim Peterson. And you get that by shooting 54% and knocking down 10 of 21 from deep, 48%. Those numbers are kind of what the Wolves have done in games 1 and 2 in the first half. They've struggled in the second halves, but first half, those are Wolves-type numbers.
So Derek Lively has only played just under 10 minutes in the game because he got injured. Karl Anthony Towns kneed him in the back of his head, so he left the ball game. So he has 6 points. The good news is you've also shut off the water to Daniel Gafford. I mean, he's not even attempted a shot in this game. He has 0 points in the ball game. Minnesota also leading in points in the paint, something that Dallas has really hurt them. So it's a 26-20 advantage for Minnesota in the painted area. But you mentioned the 3-point shooting. I mean, Derrick Jones Jr., they started out, Minnesota was rotating, taking away the rolls and trying to take away those paint points, but Dallas started the game really hot from outside the arc, and Derrick Jones Jr. made 3 threes in that first half. So 10 3-point makes for Dallas has been the difference in this game.
They've only averaged first 2 games about 5 corner threes. It was something the Wolves were really concerned about. You just mentioned it. First half, they go 5 of 6 on the right corner 3. They're 0 for 2 on the left corner, but they're getting attempts there and knocking them down 5 of 8 on the corner 3. So they've outscored Minnesota 10-4 in threes. The Wolves came in with a monster advantage in threes, outscoring Dallas by at least 6 made threes in the first 2 games. That's 18 points. We wait to check in with Corliss Williamson outside the Timberwolves locker room here as we get some insight into what went on at the halftime as the Wolves try to rally from 8 points down here. And we're joined by Corliss Williamson. Corliss, what's the biggest thing you guys touched on at the half?
Hello?
Corliss?
Yes.
What was the biggest thing you guys touched on at the half?
One of the things we got to do a better job of is, trying to get out to those three-point shooters. They're shooting 47% from the three-point line, so we got to do a better job there. And, we got to change up our coverages and keep them guessing on the pick and rolls.
Jim and I were just talking about how they were 5 of 8 on their corner threes, and it feels like you guys have sacrificed a little bit of that corner three-point defense to try to cut things off inside at the rim, and it's really you can't kind of do both against this team, can you?
No, it's tough. It's tough. You got to take one thing away from them, and hopefully they're not doing well in the other. So, look at Derrick Jones. He's 3 for 3 from three right now, and that's one of the guys that we were, going to test and see if he was going to have a night or not.
Did you feel like Cat got into a little bit of a rhythm there at the end of the second quarter?
I think so. I like the fact that he started attacking the basket, especially since the shot wasn't falling. So hopefully that'll give him some confidence going into the second half.
Biggest key for the offense in this second half, because their offense is really clicking right now.
Yeah, their offense is really clicking. We just got to continue to move the basketball and look for opportunities to attack them early. Once they get the defense set, it makes it difficult for guys like Ant to drive and penetrate the lane. So hopefully we'll do a better job of getting into our actions a little bit earlier.
Corliss, as always, we appreciate it. Good luck second half.
All right, thank you, guys.
Corliss Williamson along with us here outside the Timberwolves locker room, back hallway. It's a little bit of a venture, a trip from the locker room all the way to the floor. Really it's one of the longer journeys in the NBA. But Dallas's offense is rolling, but the Wolves' offense needs to roll. Which she putting more priority on?
I wanted to ask Carl. It's a hard question because you mentioned Cat finding a rhythm, but Minnesota needs Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns to make 3-point shots, but Towns is 0 for 5, and Ant has only attempted 2 3-point shots in the game. So, how do you make threes unless you take them? And for Karl Anthony Towns, do you still want him to keep firing away when really going to the basket and catching the ball at the elbow and finishing at the rim has been more his thing? So his shot profile, you just wish he would have made a couple of those in the first half. And so I still think if Karl has open shots from outside the arc, he's got to take them. It's shot variance, right? So Minnesota needs to make 3-point shots. It's what they do, and you got to keep aggressive and stay true to your game, So
Wolves just 4 of 16 on their threes in the first half. Attention parents, summer's just around the corner. Now's the best time to register your child for the Wolves and Lynx summer basketball camps. Camps are being held throughout the metro. They'll feature a special appearance by Crunch. Registration is now open at TimberwolvesBasketballAcademy.com. I mentioned the offensive rating for the Dallas Mavericks in that first half was a 136. That's a whopping number. The first 2 games, both teams were right around 113, 114. Pretty even, but in this first half, a 136 for Dallas. The Wolves are at a 116 offensive rating in this first half. We mentioned how they've been better in the paint, but now Dallas has got the edge at the three-point line. Rebounding has been about even. There's not much separation in second chance points. Fast break points, both teams have really been slowing it down there. Just 4 fast break points for Minnesota, 2 for Dallas. And the points off of turnovers, just about the same. Turnovers are pretty equal as well. So it's really come down to Dallas's shot making and the fact that they're outscoring the Wolves by 18 points at the three-point line.
Jaden had a fantastic first half, too. Jaden had 12 points on 5 of 6 shooting. He knocked down 2 threes, so he was aggressive. The rest of his stat line is a little bit light. He's only got 1 rebound in the game. He's got to find a way to impact the game in a little bit more meaningful way. But really, Minnesota needs Karl Anthony Towns to come to the party. Yeah. He's got 5 points on 2 of 10 shooting. So if they're going to win this game, Towns is going to have to get into, that 20-point range and have a really big second half.
12 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists for Anthony Edwards in that first half. The 6 rebounds lead the team. The 6 assists lead the team. You know what hasn't... Rudy's rebounding is only averaging about 9.5 per game over the first 2 games. You get the feeling Rudy, when he's on at his peak, you need him grabbing 14, 15 rebounds a game.
He's contesting shots, forcing misses, and ending the possession with a defensive rebound.
Timberwolves begin the third quarter with the basketball from left to right across your radio. They trail by 8 in Game 3. They cannot afford to fall behind 3-0. Rudy tries to move on Doncic, knocks the ball away. Rudy hits the deck. It's 5-on-4, back the other way. P.J. Washington a drive. He got shoved by Karl Anthony Towns. That's his second.
I just don't think that giving Rudy post-up opportunities on the low block in a mismatch situation is a good idea. It's just not his game, and so even when you gave him space, and he had plenty of space that time, Luka Doncic just basically pokes the ball away from Rudy, and he's looking back at the bench saying, why are you posting me up? This is a ridiculous idea on your part, Coach Finch.
First free throw is up and in for P.J. Washington. Lively's been diagnosed with a neck sprain. That's interesting. Questionable to return. I think about 99 people out of 100 would not diagnose that as a neck sprain. That a shot to the back of the head. I think they're trying to avoid the word concussion, which might send him into automatic out for the rest of the game and maybe a longer period of time. And the Wolves. Luka can complain all they want. Nobody's got a challenge left. A dribble handoff blown up by Luka. He thought it was off the Wolves. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, Luka says he didn't touch it.
Yeah.
And Mike's trying to run handoff action with Jaden. Jaden didn't come to the basketball.
There's Conley. Fires on a left angle three and drops it in.
Finally, a little something happens in Minnesota's favor here.
Second three of the game for Mike Conley. It's a 7-point Dallas lead. Dallas has been up by as many as a dozen. Again, they lead the series 2-0. Wolves trying to make a little bit of history in this series as Luka runs it up on Mike Conley right of the lane. Gets whistled for a foul. The shot wouldn't fall, but 2 free throws I think are coming up, or might they say sideline out of bounds. Nope, free throws for Luka Doncic. So in in conference finals history since 70-71, 10 teams have gone down 0-2 with losing both games on the home floor. None of them have come back to win the series. The Wolves, that's the same script they followed in Denver, handing Denver 2 losses on the home floor. Denver was able to come back and force a Game 7. But the Wolves, to become the first team to rally back from that, they're going to have to win this game, because if you lose and go down 0-3, no team has come back from a 3-0 series deficit. Luka, a couple of free throws good. It's now 64-55, 9-point Dallas lead. Tough to come back, as we found out in the Denver series in games 3, 4, and 5, all losses for the Wolves when Denver's offense was through the roof. When they're not missing shots, it's tough to come back. And right now, Dallas's offense is like that, shooting 54%. Ant with it up top. Gafford switches onto him. Ant hunts him into the paint, splits 2 defenders, went up, missed the shot, but Cat's right there to clean it up and slam it through with the right hand. So Karl Anthony Towns, 3 field goals now in the last roughly 3 minutes of play, going back to the second quarter. 7-point game. Kyrie with it left side of the elbow. Now around Rudy, still going against Mike, who fought through a couple of screens. Kick out. Here's P.J. Washington. Drives into the paint, double clutches off glass, no, but Ben Taylor's got a foul. More free throws coming for the Mavericks.
Karl's inability to go out to the perimeter and defend has been a real problem in this game. Every time he's closed out to P.J. Washington in a rotation situation, P.J.'s just blown right past him.
Dallas has had 3 possessions in this second half. They've got to the free throw line on all 3 possessions.
Can I tell you that I think if you look at the numbers, and if you went back to the video and watched too, I think Rudy Gobert does a better job at going out on the perimeter and closing out to a perimeter shooter and keeping them in front of him than Towns does.
Yep.
Karl goes out there. He stands up. He doesn't get into a stance and try to defend. He's trying to stand up and take away a perimeter jump shot, when really what he needs to do is stay in a stance and be able to move his feet, because they're going to attack his closeout every time.
P.J. Washington with a couple of free throws. Dallas 6 for 6 at the line to begin the second half. Ant the drive. Back out to Mike Conley. Right angle 3 on the way is good. Second 3 of the quarter for Mike Conley. The Wolves are within 6.
Yeah, just all of a sudden it's a 6-point game thanks to Mike Conley.
Well, I guess you can make up ground if you're holding Dallas to 2s and you're hitting 3s. But Luka drains a hash mark 3 on the right side in front of his head coach, Jason Kidd, who's taken the Mavs to the Western Conference Finals twice in his 3 seasons.
So much for holding him under 20 points, too, by the way.
Yeah, he's at 20. Here's Ant off the Rudy screen, able to attack down the lane, drops it back out. His pass was an errant one to Mike, so he couldn't squeeze off a shot. Now Towns into the paint, takes a run on P.J. Washington. Couldn't get that one to go, but a whistle and a foul. Tony Brothers will send Cat to the free throw line. The Wolves want an and 1 here on a goaltend.
That thing was on the glass. It looks like it's like bang, bang, too. Does he get up on the glass before?
I think he got it before it got to the glass.
It happened almost simultaneously, though. I think you're right, though. I think Gafford did get it before he hit the glass.
Gafford had 5 blocks in game 2. First free throw is good for Carl. Towns 2 of 3 at the free throw line. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Timberwolves are 5-1 this postseason on the road. They won their 2 games on the road in Phoenix to close out that series. They won the first 2 against Denver, then lost Game 5 at Ball Arena. They won the first 2 and Game 7. Biggest Game 7 comeback in NBA history. Incredible to knock out the defending champs like that on their home floor. Irving, 2-man game with Doncic. Luka's got it. Free throw line extended. He's got Conley on him. He'll just rise up for the 21-footer. That's offline. Rudy had the rebound. Squirt through his hands under some duress, but Cat scoops it up. Here comes Ant up in the front court with the Wolves down by 7. Matched up against Doncic. Quick step through into the paint. The layup, no good. Tip follow up and in for Rudy. Boy, he used that reach just to get out there with the right hand and bat it up and in. 5-point game. Luka right side, then lob it to Irving against Mike Conley. Isolated there. Baseline, bump from behind. Bank shot, good, and a foul. Kyrie's so quick he got in front of Mike and then just pulled up, and Mike couldn't check up his speed.
So masterful. Just sweeps through to his right. And then as Mike is in pursuit trying to get back in front again, Kyrie just puts the brakes on and just kisses it off the glass.
4 fouls on Mike Conley. Mike will sit down. Nickeil Alexander-Walker in. You know, so often Nickeil has been able to either duplicate, sometimes play better than Mike coming off the bench. But with the shooting funk that Nickeil is in now, and with Mike being one of your reliable three-point shooters, that's a big drop-off.
Yeah.
Especially in a game that feels offensive. You're going to need points.
It's just so funny how when you stop making shots, how it impacts you on the defensive end. It's one of the things that I respect about Jaden McDaniels is because when Jaden doesn't score, he still defends at a high level.
Yep.
When Nickeil has shots not falling, he doesn't quite defend at the same level as he does when his shots are falling.
Well, Nickeil did hit his last shot, his three-point shot in the second quarter. That snapped 12 consecutive misses. Ant bumped on the perimeter, no call. He'll stop, pop, pull up off glass, shot too strong. P.J. Washington clears the rebound. Snaps the outlet to Irving, who moves up the center of the floor. A whistle stops play. And away from the play, Ben Taylor, not sure where he's walking towards. He's walking away from the scorer's table. He's going to call a foul on the Mavericks.
Are they calling a foul on Rudy Gobert, though? They're calling it on Rudy. I think he got kind of mixed up with Dwight Powell, kind of chucking him on the way down the floor. So Rudy doesn't agree with the call.
They got a double foul here? Well, it wouldn't be Wolves. The Mavericks had the ball. Well, that is the 5th team foul against the Wolves. This is going to be free throws. So Rudy picks up his 3rd. Yeah, apparently he got a forearm up on Dwight Powell.
We're going to see Naz Reid in the game for Minnesota.
You know, Mike Conley, of his 4 fouls, 3 of them have come here in the 3rd quarter. Powell knocks down a free throw.
They did change the matchup, and they put Mike Conley on Kyrie Irving to give Ant a break. I mean, Ant was having to do so much, and so you see Rudy and Dwight Powell get mixed up, and so
that's a bad call.
Dwight Powell initiated the contact down the floor. Exactly right.
And as a referee, you have to know who the 2 participants are. Who's going to be more of an instigator, and who benefits from maybe drawing a foul? Powell or Gobert? Who's more important? I mean, that's just Ben Taylor. I don't know, seeing what. Dallas is 9 for 9 at the free throw line in the 3rd quarter. 74-64, they're back up 10. Timberwolves with it, left to right here. Into the corner, Nickeil. Now to Ant. He'll take a run to the paint against 3 defenders, splits them all, and lays it up and in with the right hand. 14 for Anthony Edwards, his first 2 points of the 3rd quarter. Up ahead, Dwight Powell running the floor. He's got it in the paint. Turnaround jump hook. It's swirled out. Wolves trying to corral the rebound. And now a makeup call by Ben Taylor. They'll call it against the Mavericks. Loose ball against Powell.
And the Wolves will get it back, trailing by 8.
Well, one thing that Dwight Powell knows how to do is when shots are made, he loves to sprint out, and Luka will find him in transition with the long pass. So he did complete the long pass. Dwight Powell misses the layup and ends up fouling in the process. One thing Dallas has done in this series is they've made Anthony Edwards look human.
Yeah. Something Phoenix and Denver could not do. Here's Towns. Good, strong drive. Couldn't get the finish. There was a lot of contact. Powell pulls down the rebound. Here's Kyrie up into the front court from right to left. Against Nikhil to the elbow. Mid-post left side. Oh, drag the pivot foot. There you go, Tony Brothers. Brothers saw it and even demonstrated what Kyrie did.
Excellent defense by Nikhil Alexander-Walker that time. Staying in front.
But Nikhil comes up holding his... I think his right thumb. Oh, Nikhil sets a screen for Ant coming up the floor. And it's an illegal screen. And it's Dallas basketball.
And Derek Jones Jr. just laughing, knowing that he fooled Ben Taylor with that. It's just a simple screen by Nikhil. And as soon as Derek Jones Jr. felt the pressure, he just pretended like he fell to the floor. He's going to walk off, though, a little bit banged up, it looks like.
He crumpled.
He really did just crumble to the floor.
So Dallas with it here. Here's Luka, lob inside. Gafford throws it down. Well, that's Gafford's first 2 points of the game. And Gafford again gets his 10th dunk of the series. So 76-66. Ant playing two-man game with Nas. Ant's got it down the lane. Swings it over his shoulder. Jaden, an angle three. Yes. He can do more than shoot corner threes. Jaden McDaniels makes it a 7-point game. 7-3 of the game for the Wolves. Mavericks are up at 11 made threes. Here's Doncic off the high screen by Gafford. Takes a run on Nikhil into the paint, lowers the shoulder, clears himself with a shot, but came up short. Terrific defense by Nikhil. 76-69. Here's Ant. Takes a run right toward the rim. Uncontested layup, and Jason Kidd needs a timeout. Timberwolves are within 5. Got a little bit of momentum here on a 5-0 run. We step aside with 6:40 left to play in the third quarter of Game 3 with Dallas on top, 76-71 on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
Bring the fun to family time with a visit to Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Start by making a splash and memories at the lagoon. Our indoor water park includes a lazy river, an activity pool, and more exciting features. Then hit the lanes at Island Extreme Bowl for some family-friendly competition before you head to our luxurious hotel for a relaxing night away. Book your stay now at ticasino.com. Treasure Island Resort and Casino. Destination fun.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
TimberTech and TimberTech.com not only are the best in the business, but the decks they develop and the decks they build are the highest of quality. In fact, you will endure a lifetime of happiness with that deck with TimberTech. So ask for TimberTech when putting together your next project, and that also can include porches. TimberTech.com is where you find the free samples. Once again, start at TimberTech.com.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I just adopted a new best friend, and I'm looking for a Toyota so we can make the most out of summer.
With a new RAV4, you can take your pup for a drive up the coast. You can take a Prius to the park for some tug-of-war. Or you can take a Tundra to kayak at a remote lake.
One problem, Jan.
Oh?
My new best friend's a cat.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
6:40 left to go in the third quarter. Timberwolves trail the Mavericks in Game 3, down 2-0, 76-71. Anthony Edwards after shoot-around today on, hey, this series, despite losing 2 on the home floor, is not over yet.
I think we're in a pretty good mood. Everybody's smiling, joking, because we know, man. We know we're a good team. Like, we know it's not over. Like, I'm not worried. I don't think my teammates or coaches, I don't think anybody worried. We just know we got to come ready to play tonight.
Anthony Edwards, 16 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. He's 6 of 16 shooting, and he's really been on the hunt here in the third quarter and kind of propelled this run for the Wolves to get to within 5.
Anthony Edwards had been 2 of 8 in the painted areas. He just last 2, so now 4 of 10 for Ant in the painted area.
Wolves lost both the first and second quarters. They're a +3 in the third. Mike Conley's on the bench with 4 fouls. And I feel like Nikhil has picked up his play, especially defensively, since he just checked in for Mike about 2 minutes ago. And he's going to have to, because he's going to be either assigned to Kyrie Irving or probably at times Luka Doncic as well. So Dallas will trigger in along their baseline. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Those guys go everywhere together. They are courtside here in Dallas.
Myles Garrett's here, too. So is Queen Latifah.
Nice. Shaq is sitting courtside.
Yeah.
Here is Luka Doncic in the paint. Stripped from behind by Nikhil, but Tony Brothers calls the foul.
Is that Jaden that came in and tried to strip him?
Yeah, that might have been. I thought it was Nikhil, but Jaden McDaniels picks up his 3rd personal foul. And again, the Wolves have been in the penalty for already about 3 minutes. So more free throws coming for Dallas. They're 9-9 at the free throw line in the third quarter.
A lot of whistles in this game. I mean, this has been the Tony Brothers and Ben Taylor game. It's been Tony Brothers is looking to get his own show, and I think Ben Taylor's been trying to one-up him here in the second half.
Just picture a show called The Tony Brothers Show.
Yeah.
What night would that air? That's a Thursday night, maybe 8 o'clock?
It's got to be a Tuesday night. Come
Tuesday?
on. Like, no one's going to watch. I mean, seriously, it's going to be awful.
It's not even going to be good. 77-71, 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. So Dallas has finally missed a free throw here in the third. Here's Anna. Oh, he rises and hammers over Daniel Gafford. That was sensational. Left to the lane. Ant locks and loads. Even the crowd here with the oohs and ahs. They know their guys can't do that. Kyrie into the paint. Double clutches. Kick out right side deflected. Josh Green with it. Almost stripped by Ant. Now Green under duress. Off to Doncic. 8 to shoot. The Wolves are flying around defensively. Doncic with it. Top of the key. Dumps it left side. P.J. Washington. Corner 3. Missed it. Wolves have the rebound.
Speed them up a little bit.
Ant now with his 7th rebound to go along with 7 assists and 18 points. Ant off the Rudy screen. Lost it. Got it back near sideline. Stripped by Josh Green. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay Timberwolves basketball. And again, neither team with a challenge. So anytime it's knocked out of bounds, we're not going to have any of these challenges that result in going over the film like it's the Zapruder film. And
take that, Daniel Gafford. I mean, that was every bit as nasty as the dunk in Utah. I mean,
he got space and elevated. A thing of beauty. Here's Ant to the baseline. Stop and pop jumper from 18. It rattles in.
He's feeling
in one of those zones right now. It's a 9-1 Timberwolves run. They're within 2. 77-75. Boy, a dunk like that is not only a highlight, but it feels like that's changed the complexion of the game a little bit.
And it could change the game for the rest of the game.
Here's Doncic with on the right side against McDaniels. Bumped up at the three-point line. Oh, Luka will come up complaining. No call. He now brings it up top. Now to Gafford rolling inside against Nas. Good defense, and the Wolves pull down the rebound. Nas went straight up. Gafford missed the shot. Here's Ant. Down by 2. A 3 would give the Wolves the lead. Here's Ant, a pull-up 2 for the tie. Off glass, counted for 2. 22 points for Anthony Edwards. We're tied at 77.
And no timeout for Jason Kidd.
Ant has scored the last 8 in an 11-1 Timberwolves run. It's Irving off the Gafford screen. Irving to the baseline on Rudy. Tough pull-up 2. It's short rebound. Nas got a hand to it. Rudy controls. Timberwolves with 4:30 left to go in the third. And their season on the line. Coming up with a monster third quarter. Here's Ant with it up top off the Rudy screen. Ant with a right-handed dribble. Now switches to the left hand against Gafford. Up fakes the three, gets to the elbow, rises for the jumper, comes up short. Irving's got the rebound.
Jaden's wide open in the corner. Ant's got to make that pass.
Kyrie feeds Derrick Jones Jr., who throws it away. Derrick Jones Jr. drove, kicked it out to the corner, and threw it right to his own bench. Derrick Jones Jr. looks to be a little shaken up.
What a difference it is now. Minnesota speeding up Dallas. They look uncomfortable. Derrick Jones, he's grimacing, and now no Derek Lively. They got to bring Powell back into the game here.
3:30 left to go. I should say 4:10 left to go in the third quarter. The Timberwolves have tied things up, and Derrick Jones Jr. struggling to get towards the bench, some sort of a lower body injury. He's moving pretty gingerly as he comes over to the Dallas bench. From down a dozen to tied with 4:10 left to go in the third of Game 3 here in Dallas on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Get the champagne ready. The NBA Finals are here.
Welcome to the NBA Finals.
Let's raise our glasses and our rings to the two phenomenal teams left standing.
My goodness!
Here's to high-stakes action, to thrilling moments we can't miss.
He ties the game at the buzzer!
And to crowning our next champion. Here's a toast to the NBA Finals. The 2024 NBA Finals, presented by YouTube TV, begin Thursday, June 6th on ABC.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through!
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
All right, things are heating up in Dallas. Timberwolves looking to make a move. Let's take a quick look at the Eastern Conference Finals, courtesy of our friends at Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers or head to Toyota.com today. Let's go places. Indiana Pacers hoping to get back on track in that Eastern Conference Finals. Game 3 last night, of course, with Boston having that 2-0 series lead. The Pacers built a lead as large as 19 in the first half, but the Celtics came roaring back. No Tyrese Halliburton in this one due to the hamstring injury. Drew Holiday, the hero, with a driving and one. A free throw put the Celtics up, and he sealed the deal with a steal late in that contest as well. He spoke about how the Celtics were able to come back with that 13-1 run to end the 13-2 run to end the game.
Man, it was definitely a team effort. I think from being down 18, we knew that we can lock in defensively and be better, and it showed. But it was definitely a team effort.
Well, Jason Tatum led that team effort with 36 points, 10 boards, and 8 assists. Celtics can close out that series in tomorrow night's Game 4. Tyrese Halliburton still very questionable for that one with that same hamstring injury. Let's get back to Dallas and Alan Horton.
All right, Cal, thank you very much. The Timberwolves have made their move here in the third quarter. They're outscoring the Mavericks by 8, 25-17. They found themselves down 10 with 7:06 left to go in the third, but an 11-1 Timberwolves run in which Anthony Edwards has 8 of those 11 points. 11-1 run to go from down 10 to tied at 77 apiece. That run over the span of 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Ant has got 10 points in the quarter. He scored 10 the last 13 for Minnesota, and Jimmy's getting it done all kinds of way inside the arc. He hasn't attempted a 3. He's 0 for 2 on the night, but hasn't attempted a 3 here in the third.
He's been attacking the basket. He's been kissing it out the glass. He's been dynamic. He's got to remember he's got teammates out there. Sometimes when he goes on these little boomlets, Alan, he forgets sometimes, who's out there with him. So I love the energy from Anthony Edwards right now. And what did I say about Dallas making him look human?
Yeah.
That's changed.
Ant has it down low. Out to Naz Reid. He'll attack down the lane. The layup is up and in with the right hand. And Naz Reid has put the Wolves in front for the first time since the opening moments of this game when it was 2-0. 79-77. 13-1 is the Timberwolves run. Here's Kyrie with it up top. Rudy is on it. Kyrie with a jab step. Now he'll cross over around his back, right-handed dribble in the paint, shoves off, fades on a 14-footer and sticks it. Tied at 79.
Great defense by Rudy Gobert.
I don't know what else he could do.
Yeah, there's nothing else he can do. I mean, Kyrie's got
Especially
great
when he
handles.
shoves off.
Exactly right.
Ant with it up the center of the floor. Tied at 79 with 3:20 left. The Mavs have ruled out Derek Lively for the rest of the game. That's official. Here's Ant with it against Josh Green. Rejects the Rudy screen. Bounce it back to Rudy. An awful pass off the knee of Rudy. Deflecting to Luka. Doncic up the center of the floor with a right-handed dribble. In the paint. Double clutches. Shot blocked, but a whistle and a foul. Ben Taylor makes the call.
Anthony Edwards wants the call out in space when Josh Green is literally fouling and is double hand checking him out on the perimeter. That's all Ant wants. He just wants to be given the fair shake of being able to operate in the open court just like Kyrie and Luka are able to.
Yep. Ant picks up the foul. It's his second. Luka to the free throw line. Dallas 10 of 11 at the free throw line in the third quarter. Luka hits that one. Ben Taylor made that last one. It's neck and neck, Tony Brothers.
Who's going to get the pilot? Who's getting the pilot?
Who gets the pilot? The Ben Taylor show or the Tony Brothers happy hour?
Well, Tony Brothers has the ability to have more hilarity because he does have a restaurant.
Okay, so maybe it's more of a variety show. It could be.
There could be a lot of hilarity in his restaurant.
I don't want to put any limitations on what these guys want to do. 2 free throws are good. Dallas goes back up by 2. It's a 4-0 burst here. Ant to the corner. Jaden, quick catch and shoot 3. It's offline. Well short. P.J. Washington has the rebound come right to his face. Fortunately, he got his hands up. He brings it up the floor. Bounce it off to Derrick Jones Jr. to the corner. And a baseline drive. Here's Jaden Hardy running across the lane to the left wing. He pulls Rudy out to the perimeter. Now 10 to shoot. Lucas says, you go, Jaden. Again, shoving off on Rudy. Rudy leans in. The shot, no, but contact. Curtis Blair makes the call. Harden moves quick. Hardy moves quick, and he went for the step back, and Rudy closed out, but Hardy was just up faking.
Rudy was clapping his hands out there, too, and once Jaden Hardy gave him the pump fake, Rudy jumped into him that time. Just a great play by Jaden Hardy.
4 fouls on Rudy Gobert.
Rudy's becoming the villain in this series, isn't he? They just had a video montage of all the little dust-ups he's had with Luka Doncic in this series so far, and you can see the narrative that they're trying to paint of Rudy. It's just not fair. It's not fair. It's not accurate.
Yeah.
And I resent the national coverage that he's getting right now. Karl Anthony Towns is going to check in for Rudy Gobert.
It's really the TNT story is just, it's not, there's not time for us to discuss it within a game, but there's no doubt it has just put a shadow over everything. And everywhere you go, people are talking about it. And not in a good way. This is not under the category of any publicity is good publicity, even though I think TNT, the NBA, and Draymond Green think that it is. Drive by Jaden McDaniels. He gets hammered. He'll go to the free throw line for 2 with 2:16 left to go in the third quarter.
It's not like the league is stopping it either.
Nope. Nobody stepped in, recognizing a direct conflict of interest.
I just think that in the future, that you cannot have active players commentating on these games. I mean, I know they've done it in the past, but I think it's that particular player.
Yeah. It was not in the act of shooting for Jaden, so the inbound comes to Ant. He's doubled. He'll zip it up top. Nas makes the catch with 3. Now with 2, a drive to the corner to Keel. He's got a hoist, and the 3 ball is no good.
Did he shoot that with his left hand?
I think he shot that with his left hand. That threw me off, too. He wanted to keep it away from the defender. It almost went in. Here's Luka Doncic to the elbow. Thought about a step-back 3. Off to Jaden Hardy. Right back to Doncic up top with McDaniels on him. Luka with 8 to shoot, works to his left, and a hand check, Ben Taylor. And Jaden, wow, an overt gesture. He can't pick up a technical here. That's his 4th, and more free throws coming now for the Dallas Mavericks. The frustration building for Jaden McDaniels.
The thing about it is you got to have good technique when you're guarding a player like Luka Doncic. You can't press up when he's putting the ball on the floor. You press, Luka's going to draw the foul on you. So he feels that pressure. He gets into a shot motion. He draws you into the web.
15. This will be 17 free throw attempts for Dallas in the quarter.
His third quarter's taking forever because of all those free throws, too.
Yep. Luka knocks down the freebie. 24 points for him, 19 for Irving.
Minnesota's got foul trouble right now, too. I mean, Mike Conley's got 4. Rudy's got 4. Jaden just picked up his 4th.
1:44 left to go in the third quarter. Dallas up by 4, 83-79. Timberwolves used a 13-1 run to take a 2-point lead, 79-77. And Luka goes 1 out of 2 at the line. Cat back out there. He secures the rebound. So it's a 6-0 Dallas run, but it's taken, it feels like an eternity for that 6-0 run. Here's Cat at the elbow against P.J. Washington. He has really struggled against Washington's defense. Cat drives, runs it up, off glass, counted, and a foul. Ben Taylor calling it at the other end as well. And Cat will go to the free throw line, trying to bring the Wolves to within 1.
I mean, it's been those elbow catches at the left elbow for Karl Anthony Towns. He scored 2 hoops at the end of the second quarter, doing just that very thing, ripping open, using the left hand to put it on the deck, get past P.J. Washington, and then shoot it up with the right hand. So this time he gets paid off in and one opportunity here. Has the ability to pull this game within 1 here with this free throw attempt.
Cat with 11 points in the game. He's just 4 of 13 shooting. He is 3 of 4 at the free throw line. Lets it fly with the right hand and connects. It's a 1-point game, 83-82, with 89 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
Kyle Anderson has been an excellent defender against Luka Doncic in this game tonight.
Anderson against Doncic. Now Cat comes out on the double. He passes out of that to Powell, who kicks it right side. Hardy stepping into a right angle 3. It's short. The Wolves have the rebound. Nas Reed collects. Now Ant with the ball in his hands. Edwards drift to the left side, looking to drive, cut off by Hardy. He'll back it out beyond the arc. Now he's got Dwight Powell on him. Ant with it. He's got to move it against 2 defenders. Baseline rises up, tough 2. In and out, no. And Doncic has the rebound. Wolves don't have the floor space very well. Here comes Doncic on the push. He'll stop. He'll pop. Free throw line jumpers automatic.
It's a layup for him.
Boy, the Wolves had 3 players kind of at the level of the basket. And Doncic just ate up that space at the other end. He's now got 26. 85-82. Here's Ant on the hunt. Down the lane, rises up, kicks out. Kyle Anderson to the corner. Up top, Nas. Straight away 3, and we're tied. 43 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Nas Reed connects on his first 3 of the night. He's up to 11 points. Luka Doncic across the timeline. He'll just fire on a 3 over Anderson. That's off the back iron. Nikhil's got the rebound on the run with 30 seconds left. Into the front court. Wolves, if they had hurried, could have gotten the 2 for 1. Now they'll just back it out. And out to midcourt with 20 seconds left. Dallas does not have a foul to give. Ant with a right-handed dribble. He's got 12 in the quarter. Cat now works against Doncic. Free throw line across the lane. Runs it up with a right hand. Silky smooth. It drops in. And the Wolves are up by 2, 87-85.
All of a sudden, Cat's up to 14 points in the game on 5 of 14 shooting.
Here's Hardy on a drive. Double clutches. Up off the glass. He got it with 1.6 left. Inbound. Knocked away by Doncic. It kicks out of bounds. Fortunately, Dallas does not gain control. We are tied going to the fourth quarter in Game 3. It's the Wolves 87. It's the Mavs 87. You're listening to Minnesota Timberwolves basketball.
Is it possible to conquer the unconquerable? Can artificial intelligence and data create a personalized gene roadmap just for you? Customizing your cancer treatment, giving your body exactly what it needs to fight the disease? Is it possible? It already is. Because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
Your lucky jersey, your pack, your hometown team. It's Superfan season in Minneapolis downtown, so don't miss out on a minute of fun, friends, and nonstop excitement. From pregame meetups to postgame celebrations, be there for your favorite teams and the big wins. In Minneapolis, we play for the love of the game, and you're the best part of our story. Visit MPLSdowntown.com to get your game on. See you downtown.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are limited. See retailer for details.
Why do we say I'm into basketball?
Because basketball's exciting. Like catching some rest here. He's only rested for 1 minute and 24 seconds in this game. Here's Kyrie, takes Conley into the paint, steps through to the bucket, lays it in, and Dallas takes the first lead of the fourth quarter. 89-87, 2 more for Kyrie. He's up to 21 points.
Kyrie was able to draw 3 fouls on Mike Conley in that third quarter. One of the reasons why he got in foul trouble. He's guarding him again here in the fourth.
Towns has it left side, and a handoff to Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who comes up top. Now back to his left. It's Mike wide open on the three, and he buries it.
He was not even guarded.
Mike Conley has 4 threes in this game. 3 of them have come in the second half. 90-89. The Timberwolves take their first lead of the fourth quarter. Here's Kyrie off the high screen by Gafford. Doubled. Now to Gafford, top of the key. Looking to drive on Naz Reid. Runs it up off glass. No good. That's exactly what the Wolves defense wanted Gafford to do. Towns rips down the rebound.
A little different player when he's not just catching lobs and throwing it through the halo.
All of a sudden, he's the big who's catching it at the free throw line at the top of the key. Like the Wolves got it to Rudy a couple of times earlier in this game. Here's Mike off the Kyle Anderson screen. Back to KA. He runs it up in the paint, drops it in. Jump hook with the right hand. And the Timberwolves now lead by 3. 92-89. Kyle Anderson just 4 points in 9 minutes, but he's 2 for 2 shooting. Kyrie up into the front court off the Hardy screen. At the hash mark against Mike Conley, and he dribbled it on the sideline. Turnover on Kyrie Irving and the Mavericks, their 10th of the game.
Unlike the Denver series, all of these games have been so close and razor thin. You just think about a couple 3-point shots for Dallas if they go the other way. Minnesota's up 2 and up 3 here in game 3. I'd feel a whole lot different about this series if that were the case.
Yeah. Cat with it up top to Naz Reid from left to right in the association whites. Hand off to Mike Conley. Mike's got it up top, got a Naz screen, penetrates to the elbow, drops it back to Nickeil, straight away on the 3, off the back iron, no, the rebound tapped up, no, I think Kyle got a hand to it. It had a chance of going in, but Dallas collects the rebound. Here's Kyrie, stop and pop, left angle 3, oh, he got it! He ties the game with 9:56 left to play.
It's just such a killer when Nickeil can't make that open 3. He was wide open at the top of the circle.
24 now for Kyrie Irving. Here's Mike Conley with it up top. Josh Green is on him off the Naz screen to Kyle on the left side. Kyle will take a run into the paint. The jump hook up. He's 3 for 3. Timberwolves go back up 94-92. 4 of his 6 points here in the fourth. Oh, Nickeil and Kyle got switched up there momentarily. Kyrie off the screen by Gafford. Gafford slips it. Now Kyrie against Nickeil. Into the paint, stops, rises up. Elbow jumper is good. Well, I don't know what more you can do against that. 26 for Doncic, 26 for Irving. 94 all, another tie. We've been tied 6 times. There have been 8 lead changes. Cat left side turns, fires on a 3. In and out, no. The rebound out of bounds, and that's going to be Dallas basketball.
You mentioned how Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic just take turns. So Luka's been down. Kyrie's been taking over, and he's certainly done a great job here in the quarter.
Kyrie has all 7 Dallas points in the fourth.
And Luka's coming back into the game now, so.
Ant continues to stay on the bench. Resting for 3 minutes now. Kyrie up the center of the floor, tied at 94.
Minnesota just blinked on that possession, too, with Karl Anthony Towns missing the corner 3.
Josh Green to the right side.
Left
PJ
side,
Washington
Towns.
bounces into
Quick release
Doncic
over
against
Gafford.
Towns in the right corner in front of his own bench. Here comes a step back. 3 on the way, and it's good. Wow.
Minnesota misses twice. Nickeil and Towns, and they make twice. Kyrie and Luka.
97-94. Here's Mike on the drive, the runner off the glass, and the 17-year vet's keeping the Wolves in the game right now. 97-96. 14 for Mike in 23 minutes of play. Doncic up in the front court, spins away from the screen, and a whistle and a foul. Kyle Anderson admits his guilt. That's the first against the Wolves here in the fourth quarter. Neither team had committed a foul up until
Daniels to Green, right to Washington, to Luka in the right corner against Towns. Jab stepping and put it on the floor. Step back right for 3. He hits. That was a really difficult shot. Towns played him really well. Here's Conley, left wing on the drive, and banks it and scores it.
No hesitation move that time.
Conley following up his 18-point game in Game 2 with a 16-point game tonight. 97-96 Mavericks, and a foul on Anderson as Luka goes into the spin out top.
These are so razor thin. Saw Kyrie dribble it off the sideline. Now Josh Green turned it over. Wolves have the ball down by 1, 97-96. Naz turns the corner down the lane and slams it through with a right hand.
The feed by K.A. Nas the flush, and the Wolves are up 98-97.
It's one of my favorite Nas plays, that pin down in the left corner over there. He comes off that double screen scot-free for the right-hand slam.
Here's Kyrie looking to answer. Gets by Jaden in the lane. It puts the shot up. It's no good, but Jaden undercut him. That's going to be number 5 on McDaniels. Free throws coming up for Kyrie Irving. Boy, what do you do now? I mean, do you just ride it with Jaden at this point, or do you pull him out? And what options do you have off the bench? Mike Conley just came off the floor. Nikhil just came off the floor.
Well, you got to.
And it's going to be Mike Conley.
You got to bring Mike back. You got to put Kyle on Luka, and then you got to have Mike Conley or Ant guard Kyrie. I mean, Mike's the one that was guarding him earlier, so we'll see who ends up playing Kyrie, but you need Anthony Edwards to score the basketball.
Free throw is good. We pause 10 seconds for station identification all across the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network.
Max Fuller here, a.k.a. Rudy Frobert. Catch me after Game 3 on Howlin' with the Homies, presented by ABC, right here on FM 100.3 KFXN, Minneapolis, St. Paul, The Fan.
Studio host and executive producer is Cal Soderquist. I'm Alan Horton along with Jim Peterson. Our engineer is Ken Mendez. Our statistician, Super Dave Hanlon, with us on the road. Studio coordinators, Alex Leibolt, Ben Haney. 100.3 FM, KFAN, The Fan, iHeartRadio app, Timberwolves mobile app, Sirius XM, satellite radio, and the Timberwolves radio network. 1 out of 2 for Kyrie at the free throw line. Kyle a spin and a lay-in with the left hand to put the Wolves up 198 with 7.5 to play.
Kyle going to work, man. He's got 8 points, 4 of 4 shooting.
Luka takes Kyle into the paint, kick out, right angle. Here's Kyrie holding with 12 on the shot clock. Josh Green sets the screen, slips it to the corner. The Wolves double Kyrie. He comes back to the middle, splits 2 defenders, runs it up with the left hand. It's off the back iron, no, but a tip follow for P.J. Washington.
Towns had no idea that P.J. Washington was going right past him for the tip in.
Towns comes in so late out under it. Kyrie into the paint. Tried to dish it off. I think it got deflected. Gafford saves it, but he must have stepped on the baseline. Yeah. And the Wolves will get it back with 6:40 left to go. In Game 3, it's a must-win for Minnesota. Down 2-0. I don't have to tell you why. Anthony Edwards pacing away with 22 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. Cat's got a double-double, 14 and 10 with 3 dimes. There comes Kyle up into the front court. Cat now with it against P.J. Washington. Hand off to Kyle Anderson. Back up top, 14 to shoot. Kicks left side. Conley lobs it inside. Cat was battling with Irving and got spun around, and Irving was there when the ball dropped out of the sky from Mike Conley. Turnover. Luka Doncic now has it, guarded by Naz Reid. He's isolated about 40 feet out. Left side of the floor, Luka with a right-handed dribble. Top of the key, now to the nail. Spins, tough, one-footed fall away. Drops it in for 2. 102-100. Doncic up to 29 points. 2-point Mavericks lead as the Wolves bring it up. Anderson sets a legal screen, and Ant goes down the lane, scores it for 2, right through the heart of the defense. Ant with 2 more, he's up to 24. Tied at 102.
I don't compare players very often. We talk about Anthony Edwards being like Jordan. Luka Doncic has got a lot of Larry Bird in him, doesn't he? The way that he makes those turnaround jump shots, those fadeaways.
Doncic has it. He's trapped out by midcourt. He'll lob it to the top of the key. Gafford will kick out to Derrick Jones, who's been quiet. He drives in, double clutches, wild shot off the glass, never hit the rim. The 11th rebound of the game for Karl Anthony Towns.
Minnesota's 5-on-4 right now.
Ant on the hunt to the right side of Towns. He'll take a run into the paint, and his shot rejected out of bounds by Daniel Gafford. It'll stay Timberwolves basketball, but the crowd gets aroused with the block by Gafford, his second of the night. Ant will trigger in. Now Conley kicks him out of the corner. Wolves have 13 on the shot clock. There's 5:19 left to go in a tie game. Inbound, Kyle Anderson up top to Ant. He'll get the high Naz Reid screen, who now slips it. Ant on the attack against Doncic to Naz in the corner. Good pump fake. Gets by Derrick Jones Jr. Back out to Ant. Ant looking for the step back 3. Good pump fake. Now swings it far side. Anderson's got to run it up at the buzzer and hits it off the 1 foot. He caught it and pushed it up from 18 feet out of the right side. What a play by Kyle Anderson. 104-102. It's a 2-point Wolves lead. Here's Luka crossing the timeline. He'll get a Gafford screen. Now he's trapped in midcourt. The ball's loose. Luka's got it. Still gets it to Gafford. Straddling the three-point line. Gafford bangs away with Nas. Spins in the lane. To the corner, P.J. Washington. Washington on the attack. Steps through. Opposite corner, Kyrie with 2 to shoot on the attack. Down the lane. Floats it up and hits it to tie the game with 4:34 left. Incredible shot by Kyrie. Boy, how about the shot making with the clock winding down in the last 2 possessions for both sides?
I just cannot believe how Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic continually take to make shots. Minnesota scrambling on that last possession, nearly getting a steal. You got to give Luka Doncic and Kyrie a ton of credit. Kyle Anderson, how about his shot? The leaping leaner from the right corner, knocking it down as the shot clock expired.
Kyrie and Luka, 60 combined points. Time out on the floor with 4:34 left. We're tied at 104 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through.
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel. Good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan.
Hi, Jan. I just adopted a new best friend, and I'm looking for a Toyota so we can make the most out of summer.
With a new RAV4, you can take your pup for a drive up the coast. You can take a Prius to the park for some tug-of-war. Or you can take a Tundra to kayak at a remote lake.
One problem, Jan.
Oh?
My new best friend's a cat.
Your summer starts here, but it all ends June 3rd. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
All right, here we go again into clutch time in Dallas. Let's briefly look ahead to tomorrow night's Game 4 in the Eastern Conference Finals. The scoreboard update brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com today. Let's go places. In Indiana, Game 4 will take place. Pacers facing that 3-0 series deficit after the Celtics rallied for a victory yesterday evening. Drew Holiday had the go-ahead and one bucket and the steal to seal it. No Tyrese Halliburton in that one. His status for Game 4 remains up in the air. Here's Pascal Siakam on a must-win contest tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah, no, I think it's a must-win for us. We got to give everything that we have. Obviously, to this point, we've had an incredible season, and like nobody wants to see it end. So we're going to fight to the end, and I think the guys, for us, is just let's get one game. Like we can't look ahead. Whatever is in front of us, don't matter. We got to focus on the next game. Give everything that we have to win that game.
Yeah, Aaron Nesmith had an opportunity to tie the game up at the buzzer, was off the mark on a three-pointer. Celtics closed that Game 3 on a 13-2 run to get the 114-111 victory, but you heard Siakam say it. Pacers just trying to get one. That is what the Wolves are trying to do right now. Let's get back to Dallas and Alan Horton and Jim Peterson.
All right, Cal, thank you very much. We are tied at 104 with 4:34 left to go in this fourth quarter. And essentially the Wolves season comes down to this final 4:34. Already down 2-0 in this best-of-7 series. The Wolves have come up with a special second half. They're shooting 67% since halftime. And they've been able to survive so far 60 points combined between Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic. 60 points on 53% shooting and 47% from beyond the arc. Wolves fans, there's still time to upgrade your playoff gear with the latest from the Timberwolves team store, a Fanatics experience. Head to shop.timberwolves.com right now. Get your officially licensed playoff gear. Into clutch time we go for the third consecutive game. Wolves had a 4-point lead in Game 1. They had a 5-point lead in Game 2. They couldn't close those out because of some costly turnovers.
Yeah.
Can they take care of the ball down the stretch here with 4:30 left? And up the center of the floor. He's guarded by Derrick Jones Jr. Kyle Anderson sets the screen and into the paint, rises, kicks to the corner. Nas catching 2-3. It's offline, off the heel, and up high. 2 hands on the rebound. He pulls it away.
What did he climb to the sky for that
and
one? My goodness.
Once he got up there to the apex, Ant backs it out. 7 on the shot clock. It's going to get doubled from P.J. Washington and Luka to the right side. Conley feeds Kyle Anderson. 1 on the shot clock. It's got to let it go. 1-footed fall away from the free throw line. It rattles around. It wouldn't drop. And the rebound comes to Daniel Gafford. Dallas brings it up from right to left. There's now 3:50 left to play in the game. Tied at 104. Luka's got it. Kyle Anderson on him. Luka dribbling with his left hand, signals the play with his right. He wants Gafford to come out and set the screen. Now zips it off to Kyrie to the corner. PJ Washington fires the three and buries it. Oh, man, just like he did in game one, a late three puts the Mavericks in front, 107-104.
That's his corner, too. That left corner is spotted up right there.
Wolves need an answer. Here's Conley rubbing off the Nas screen. Now to Reed on the run, into the paint. He'll rise up on Gafford. The layup, no, but a whistle and a foul. Tony Brothers will send Nas to the free throw line for two. A couple of big bodies colliding there. 7-footers, Nas Reed and Daniel Gafford. Good aggressive play by Nas.
Nas Reed looks up at the rim and just says, why? Why didn't you go in the hoop, basketball? PJ Washington knocking down that corner three. I mean, the only thing that's really kept Minnesota in this game is the differential in shot attempts. I mean, Minnesota has 79 field goal attempts to Dallas's 65, but Dallas has gotten to the line so much. 28 free throw attempts.
13 more times.
That's crazy.
Nas misses the first free throw off the back iron.
You can't blink against this Dallas team. We talked about this against Denver. I mean, it didn't really come to bear because there weren't that many close games in that Denver series, but you've got to be able to execute in these late game situations against these great players.
And that means hitting your free throws.
Yes,
when you do get
absolutely.
the chance, if you get the benefit of getting a whistle, which is rare, you've got to take advantage of it. There's a timeout on the floor in between Nas Reed free throws. So he missed the first. He'll have one more coming. The Wolves are down 107-104 with 3:21 left to play. I mean, Wolves right now have 6 players in double figures. 24 for Edwards, 16 for Conley, 15 for McDaniels, 14 and 11 for Cat, 13 for Nas Reed, and 10 for Kyle Anderson. And K.A., it looks like he's going to get the minutes down the stretch. You've still got Jaden McDaniels available, but he's got the 5 fouls. 107-104. We'll keep it here, the final 3:21. Dallas, we've talked about this, how good they've been in clutch time, and it's mainly because Luka Doncic. I mean, when over his 6 years, he's winning 55% of his clutch time games. That's a really good percentage, especially when they weren't good for a few years in there, his first few years.
Yeah.
But why is he so good in clutch time? What about that period of the game when everything's on the line does he take advantage of?
I think he's been, such a decorated player, and playing EuroLeague, playing with grown men when he was 15, 16 years of age. I mean, he's just trial tested. He's been a point guard and handled the basketball in these clutch situations all these games. And hey, you've seen those videos in Europe. When you're playing in EuroLeague, it is a hornet's nest. It's way more volatile than it is here in the United States.
One more free throw coming for Nas Reed. Conley strokes it to make it a 2-point game. 3:21 left. Luka will bring it up. He's got P.J. Washington, Derrick Jones Jr., Kyrie Irving, and Daniel Gafford. Gafford's gone the entire fourth quarter. Here's Doncic with it off the Gafford screen. Luka left-handed dribble. Kyle's right on his hip in the paint. Double clutches off to Gafford. Oh, they're going to call a travel on Luka Doncic. Tony Brothers says that Doncic came down with the ball before he passed it. And Minnesota will call a timeout. It's a use it or lose it timeout. It comes with 3:07 left. The exact same time that Jason Kidd used his in game 2.
I think it's a great call by Tony Brothers. Luka Doncic went up. He came down. He came down. That right toe hits the ground, and then he lets go of the basketball and gets it to Gafford at the very last second. But he did hit the floor before it left his hands.
Absolutely stunned that he would not get that call or get the benefit of the doubt. I think it was the right call, too. Tony Brothers stepped up and made it. The Wolves will get possession. Down by 2, 107-105. There's 3:07 left to go in the fourth quarter. Down by 2. Both teams have shot it well here in the fourth quarter. Dallas is 8 of 12. The Wolves are 8 of 14. Ant's kind of been quiet here. He has 2 points in the quarter. He's got 24 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. He does have 4 turnovers. But you got to think with a crucial possession right here, you want the ball or him to be involved. I'm not saying the ball in his hands. I want the ball in Mike Conley's hands with crucial possessions down the stretch.
I agree. That's one of the things that Chris Finch was kicking himself for not calling timeout and getting Mike in the basketball game again. So
they're going to bring Jaden McDaniels back in. Kyle Anderson's going to sit.
Well, Kyle's been so good. He's been so clutch. I don't know how you take him out of the game.
I almost wish you could find a way to keep him in there.
I mean, Kyle's done a great job of defending without fouling, too.
You know, Rudy's going to have Gafford, and Cat's got that matchup against P.J. Washington. Here come the Wolves up into the front court. They get it to Rudy on the perimeter left, up top to Cat. Right side of the floor, dribble handoff to McDaniels. He runs to the left side. Here comes Conley clearing off the screen. Back to Jaden on the right side. Jaden probes. Spacing is thrown off. Cat runs out of the corner. Here's Conley up top. He's got to fire away with one on the shot clock. It's no good. And Doncic's got the rebound. He flails a little bit trying to pick up a foul, but he doesn't get it. And he'll walk it up across the timeline. Out of the timeout, the Wolves did not get the shot they wanted. Dallas by 2 with possession. There's now 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in game 3. Gafford the high screen. Luka to his left. Jaden still on him. Luka beats him into the paint, shoves off, pump fakes. Now the one-footed fall away. Got it. What a drastic fall away, too, as the Wolves inbound down 4 with 2:13 left. They must have a score here. Ant, ball in hand. Derrick Jones Jr. on him off the Conley screen, off the Gobert screen. Ant on probing into the mid-post, runs it up, came up short, and Derrick Jones Jr. has the rebound. Ant tried to tie him up. The ball's knocked free. Ant's got it. He holds. There's 22 on the shot clock. Now Doncic dives in and strips him of the basketball. It's going to be a jump ball. Oh, Luka did to Ant what Ant just did to Derrick Jones Jr. He missed the shot. He had a good look, Jim.
Certainly did. Unbelievable.
And then
exchange
Ant just
right there.
ripping it away. Jaden was there as well, but then Ant needed to get rid of the ball. He kept holding. He was right at the elbow, and there's too much traffic there, and Doncic took advantage.
And Karl Anthony Towns just stayed right behind Ant for some reason and didn't get into his field of vision so we can see that he had some help.
Curtis Blair will toss it up at the free throw line with 1:52 left.
Tip this to Jaden. Or else to Rudy Gobert, who's right there in front of Ant. But this is a difficult tip. You've got to box out. If you're Towns
good
right
decision
now,
by Conley.
Yeah,
He gets
exactly
Towns
right.
and
Get Towns in there to be able to tip it to him.
And the tip is tapped into the corner. Derrick Jones Jr. tracks it down. Here comes Luka up into the front court. Jaden doesn't want to foul here. 109-105. 140 left to play. Doncic with it in the front court off the Gafford screen out by midcourt. McDaniels all over Luka. He spins at the free throw line. Lost the dribble. His pass to the corner is picked off. Karl Anthony Towns has the ball fall right into his lap. Wolves have it down by 4. Here's Cat off the Rudy screen. He's going to pop at a right angle 3. It's short. The rebound long to Luka Doncic. Cat's 0 for 6 from beyond the arc. There's 1:19 left to play in the game. The Wolves couldn't take advantage of the gift from Luka Doncic. Kyrie Irving, he's got it right side. Takes a run on Cat along the baseline. He'll stop. He'll pop. The 18-footer is good. 1:07 left to play, and Kyrie Irving has put the hometown Mavericks up by 6 with 1:07 left. They can smell it. Here's Conley up into the front court. Quickly moves on Irving, who reaches in to try to strip him and is called for the foul. Irving, his first foul of the game. He's played 41 minutes and not committed a foul. Last 4 possessions, Jim. Timberwolves 0 for 3 with a turnover. That's very similar to the numbers we've seen over the first 2 games. Inbound, Conley off the Gobert screen. Mike keeps it himself, runs to the rim. That shot blocked by Gafford. It comes off the glass. It goes out of bounds. Whose ball is this going to be? The officials don't know. Tony Brothers says Dallas basketball. Curtis Blair had no idea. Tony Brothers made the call all the way across the floor.
Looked like it went off Ant last.
I agree. 111-105 with 54.7 seconds left. What a block by Gafford, his 3rd of the night. Here is Luka Doncic bringing it up. Wolves desperately need to stop. They're down by 2 possessions. Doncic across the timeline is going to burn some clock here. The shot clock is now down to 10. There's 40 seconds left to go in game 3. Gafford the high screen. Luka with it. Left-handed dribble to the elbow. Down the lane. Lobs it up. Gafford throws it down with the right hand. And the Mavericks may have just gone up 3 games to none in this best-of-7 Western Conference Finals. The alley-oop from Doncic to Gafford. 34.8 seconds left. It's a play that has just killed the Wolves over the first 3 games. A 6-0 run to put this game to bed with 34.8 seconds left.
Well, you just got to really tip your cap to Luka Doncic.
Wow. I thought a timeout had been called. Apparently there was a foul called. Well, that really adds insult to injury. A little salt in the wound. So Gafford will go to the free throw line to try to make it 114-105, a 9-point lead. So Gafford with an and one. He rattles it in. And now here's the timeout by Minnesota. 114-105 once again in clutch time. Dallas has proven too tough. 114-105. A 7-0 Dallas run over the last 142. Timberwolves' last 5 possessions, 0 for 4 with a turnover. We're back in 30 seconds all across the Timberwolves radio network.
Why do we say I'm into basketball? Because basketball's exciting. Like catching a t-shirt from a cannon or feeling the pulse of a packed arena. There's the in-your-face slam dunks, the highlight reel alley-oops, and the three-point buzzer beaters. It all gets your heart pounding. Just like playing the lottery. Minnesota Lottery. I'm in. Must be 18 or older to play.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
34.8 seconds left to go in Game 3. Jim, I've got more bad news for you. You're not going to like this. In Game 1, the Wolves were up by 4 with 3:15 left. Dallas then won on an 8-0 run, 10-3 overall to end the game. Game 2, the Wolves led by 5 with 1 minute and 6 seconds left. Dallas closed the game on a 6-0 run, a Kyrie 3, a Luka 3. And here in Game 3, the Wolves led 104-102. Not a huge lead by any stretch with 4:35 left, but Dallas has gone 12-1 over the last 3:57. They lead by 9. Wolves have to score and score quickly. Inbound, Towns catch and shoot 3. It was a good look. He missed it long. Kyrie with a rebound. And he's trapped in the corner. He'll bounce out of that. Finally, a whistle and a foul. Cat is now 0 for 8 from beyond the arc. There's 27 seconds left. You know, this is Cat's 30th career postseason game. In 18 of them, he has just 1 or 0 three-pointers made. 18 out of 30.
Say that again.
So he's played 30 career postseason games.
Yes.
And in 18 of them, he either has 0 or 1 made free throw.
Well,
Minnesota's missed their last 7 shots, and they only have 1 point over the last 4:38.
The thing that Luka Doncic is he's clutch, and Kyrie Irving is as well, and they've made it known here in this first 3 games of this series. They've been unbelievable.
Yep. 2 free throws by Kyrie. Luka's out. His night is done. Ant dribbles it off his leg. He backtracks and scoops it up. 20 seconds left. Ant hunting up top, trying to free himself. Drives on Derrick Jones Jr., gets by him, lays it up and in. 26 for Ant. And now Kyrie takes the inbound, raises up the floor, and the Wolves will not foul. 116-107. Kyrie will dribble this one out. The horn's going to sound here at the American Airlines Center, and the Dallas Mavericks win their 3rd straight clutch time game. They out-execute the Wolves down the stretch, and they now have a commanding 3-0 series lead in this Western Conference Finals. Timberwolves led 104-102 with 4:35 left. Dallas goes 14-3 to end the game. And it fits in right with those other runs I gave you from Dallas closing out Game 1 on a 10-3 run. They close out Game 2 on a 6-0 run, and a 14-3 burst has just about sealed the fate of the Timberwolves. 0-153. That is the record of NBA teams in a 7-game postseason series when they trail 3-0. No team in NBA history has overcome a 3-0 deficit. The Wolves will try to begin that fight back and become a historic NBA team with their next game coming up on Tuesday night. Stay tuned. Post-game show gets underway next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
We are professionals. We are family and friends. We are volunteers. We are community partners. We are a team dedicated to helping you succeed. We help protect and serve America's businesses. When you need us, we're here to help. At Federated Mutual Insurance Company, it's our business to protect yours. Rated A+ Superior by AM Best Company.
When you drive a vehicle so reliable it's backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Visit your local Kia dealer today to see what you're capable of in a vehicle that inspires confidence around every corner. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. Limited inventory available. Warranties include 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain and 5-year, 60,000-mile basic. Warranties are